While all this is going on, I get a text from SNEAKO. Says, "Hey, you want to debate Stu Peters?" I said, "Yeah." "We do it on my channel?" "Yeah." "Here's my rules, though. It needs to be a substance debate. No ad homs." Nico says, "Agreed." So if they do ad homs, either one of us, you throw the other one off. Because I figured that this guy didn't really want to debate. He just wanted to talk because that's what most of them do. He says, "Okay, no problem. You know I'm going to be a good moderator." I said, "All right. No problem."
All right, guys. So I'm just here for you guys today because looks like Owen Schroyer. I don't know who canceled it, but between the two of them, I think it was Owen. He's got technical issues with StreamYard. I guess the sound or something. I'm using StreamYard now, so you can let me know if my sound is off. Yeah, see, that's what it is. There's an echo. That's why they canceled it. So there you have it, StreamYard. So I don't even know if I want to continue my stream if there's going to be an echo. It's and Baron Coleman's been having an issue too with echo, low sound. So I don't know. StreamYard's really acting up. So I don't know if they're gonna change that or what. Is it an echo for my voice or just when I play that video? Let me know in the chat.
What a disaster that was. And not for us. Disaster for them. First of all, let me just unequivocally say something here.
So in lieu of the Schroyer, I was going to go through this video that Andrew put out a couple days ago. I haven't watched it yet. It's about Stu Peters. Okay, so it's just a video. Just when you play the video. Okay. So we will see what I want to do about that. If other people are having an issue, then sounds like I don't think Uncle Tom will be able to fix it. It doesn't sound like it's in my control, but I can chat with you guys for a bit. So for those of you just joined, looks like StreamYard's acting up. Owen Schroyer let Andrew know, and they've agreed to reschedule. So disappointing. I was looking forward to this debate. Yeah, exactly. Barron's was having the issue as well. So yeah, it's a big company. They make a ton of money. I surely pay them a healthy amount, so I don't know why they can't get their technology fixed when I play the video. But I wonder, I'm going to try to play a video on X. And let's see if I play a video on X, if it's going to do the same thing. Let's see.
Qualifications.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
There's not a lot of them. There's just not a lot of forensic pathologists that are out there.
Okay, so I'm playing this now. I'm gonna play this some more. Let's see what happens.
Not many. You can beat around the country, and they're not going to go to like the small rural areas of the country because there's not enough cases. So the state I live in, like the bodies literally from where I am, they have to be transported 2.5 hours to get to a forensic pathologist for those autopsies to be conducted. Yeah, so there's probably more neurosurgeons out there. I'm sure there are than forensic pathologists. Yeah.
All right, well, let's start right at the beginning of the case. Obviously,
trying to get to the meat and potatoes, guys.
And he gets hit with something which is up for a lot of debate. So, Baron, you and I had a chance to go into some of this yesterday.
All right, so that was a test. It's not horrible. Okay, so we could probably hang out for a little bit anyway. That's annoying. Yeah, we'll probably go back to this one and listen to what he has to say. I'll play bits and pieces and react to it because nobody wants to hear echo throughout. But Let's see. That was Baron Coleman sitting down with another investigator. I haven't watched that yet, honestly. I still got to watch that. There's a lot of content I got to catch up on overall. But thanks, guys. I think it's funny when I do these streams that you guys will be chatting to each other because some of you guys know each other from other channels and so forth. So I think it's funny because sometimes I'm like, "Hey, these guys literally don't care what I'm talking about. They come into the community to chat with each other. So I think it's kind of funny. I'll be your background noise, guys. It's fine. So let me play some Andrew. He's basically, this one was about, I'll show you the title of this video here. The fatal problem Stu Peters couldn't escape. And it's the debate recap, the debate he did with SNEAKO. I'm sorry, with Stu Peters, SNEAKO moderating. So that's what this is. So I'm interested. I haven't seen it, so I'm watching it blind. Elizabeth and Mitch, I wish I could explain. I actually have to message somebody else about that. But in the truthers land, there are definitely some squabbles. People misconstrue things, and it's just these apps, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm a concerned citizen. All these apps, they're meant for like conflict. They're designed for conflict. They're designed for drama. People purposefully do drama just for attention, or because they just have a craving for it. Dopamine, negative feedback loop, all of this stuff. I mean, it's just how these apps are. So I don't know why Mitch and Elizabeth got into it. Maybe I think Elizabeth is a reporter, so there's some sources she probably trusts, some she doesn't, some she looks into their backgrounds, unsure, doesn't want to. You know, if she's a journalist, she could even be, let's say, friends with me. She does follow me. We're not friends, but she could like some things I post, and then other things she may not like what I post, and then she may even call me out on some stuff. She may say, I wonder why he said that. Is he a misogynist? Let me go back and look. Oh, wait, he's a misogynist. And let me dig into whatever in his past. And so just because a journalist follows you or likes your stuff or whatever, you never know. Tables can turn. So maybe what's going on there. But no, I'm not a misogynist. I love women. That's the irony of the whole thing. So nonetheless, let's play a little bit of Andrew. Sorry, I'm just reading. I was reading your chats. I didn't put them on screen. Let's see this one. That's what I was responding to D. Yep, I'm confused also. All right, let's play.
That guy is an idiot. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is not a smart guy.
So Stu is definitely a smart guy, and he's not an idiot. And I'm going to pause more frequently when I'm reacting to this because of the echo, because that's going to be annoying for you to listen to an echo. But I can address at probably every point that Andrew talks about. So, by the way, I'm on Kick now because it seems to be pretty popular. In addition to that, Stu's on Kick. So Stu got a Kick deal. I love it for him. If he's on there, of course I got to be on there. Somebody asked, I think D asked me last time what my Kick user was. So I'll give you my username as well. But absolutely, I'm going to be on there. If they're inviting Stu Peters, great. And he does follow me. I talk to him once in a while. Great guy. I haven't listened to a ton of his content, so I couldn't tell you for sure that I agree with everything. But I can tell you that from what I have seen, hey, he seems to be pretty down to earth. He supports small creators and all that. So let me play some more here.
He is dumb. He's a dumb guy. And I was actually surprised because he was like, well, SNEAKO says, well, we'll do 3-minute openings. And I'm like, 3-minute openings?
So the other thing, I just alluded to this. I told you guys these platforms are meant for conflict and drama. What is he doing? He's calling this guy dumb right on to tens of thousands of people, or what will be tens of thousands of people. And it's like, if they met in person, they might agree on a lot of things. They may just be fine. If I told Andrew, if you met with Baron Coleman, you guys would probably be friends. So it's kind of strange that way.
And an hour debate. And I was like, I don't know, man. SNEAKO says, well, okay, we got it to 75 minutes. I said, all right, well, 75 minutes makes for a good debate. You do it in 75 minutes. And of course, I get there and it's only going to be an hour, right? The topic was supposed to be about the of Charlie Kirk. It was not specified to only be what's the state evidence in this and that. It's us discussing the Charlie Kirk. This includes Stu Peters' claims that he's made about the.
I don't know. Maybe it's only echoing when my mic's open, but that wouldn't completely make sense. I mean, it does make sense, but that's never been an issue before. So now he's just obviously whining about the what's it? What am I thinking of? The why can't I find this word in my head? The structure of the debate, I guess. 3-minute openings, supposed to be 90 minutes or 75 minutes at 60. All of that. But they should have figured all that out way before together.
Charlie Kirk. There was no restrictions on whether or not this was supposed to just be an internal critique based on the state's evidence. Stu just made all of that up. In fact, I'll prove it to you. These are harmless enough DMs, so I'm guessing SNEAKO is not going to mind that I read them for you. There's nothing pertinent in here or anything that shouldn't be shared. So he says, Stu Peters wants to debate you on Charlie Kirk. I can moderate. But okay, when? Can't do anything this weekend, so I'm at DebateCon. I want no ad hom, substance only. He says, I agree. So I'm free starting Tuesday. He says, when is good for you? Let's do Tuesday.
Yeah, all right. He's making a case for how he was promised a certain structure, format, or prompt for the debate, but which is fine. A deal is a deal, but at the same time, it's like when it comes to Kirk, we know from attorneys that have been on record to talk about Kirk, actually the defense can make any wild conspiracy theory that they want. They can say somebody came from a tunnel and did this and that, and it's up to the prosecution to, again, prove the guilt of the the defendant. So it's really up to the prosecution. So I think Stu was approaching it from that. Stu wasn't going into this thinking, I'm going to stick right with the prompt because I want to win this debate. I think he just wanted to go on record and be public and holding Andrew or anybody else accountable, anyone who's listening accountable for, hey, do you have evidence without a reasonable doubt that would convict Mr. Robinson? And so that's what it was. I don't know how much Stu debates in general, but again, thank you guys for coming in. I'm not leaving or anything. I'm just thanking you because people are still coming in and coming out and all that. So I am on Kick now, by the way. So you can sub to my Kick. I have not much of value to offer you, no merch or anything. I do ask for donations here and there just to get it off the ground, but I'm not monetized. That is, I guess that is a little bit valuable at this point to not be monetized, because I'm a concerned citizen, and I don't really trust the platforms. Might I sign up for the monetization at some point? I could, and I'll let you know if I do that process. But right now, I'm just totally not monetized, and so whatever I get is what I get from those who want to support. So I appreciate you.
And I'm always a fair moderator. I said, yeah, but I want a commitment, no ad hom, substance only. Do we get intros? He said, yeah, 3-minute intros, 60-second rebuttals, and open discussion. He said, in the ad homs, in other words, I'm not interested in a troll debate. I want a substance debate. He says, I'll establish that as a rule. If it's broken, I'll give a warning and then disqualify and end it. Because I want a substance debate too. I said, okay. Then I agree to the terms. What time? He gives me the time.
Yeah, that was a fun night. I had over maybe 2,500 at one time viewing that debate. It was entertaining, but doesn't appear Andrew's too happy with how it went. It was entertaining.
And anyway, he says he wants a 1-hour debate. And I said, can we do an hour and a half? There's a lot to cover. I said, I understand if he can't, but there's more than an hour if we can. So anyway, he says he wants an hour. We can settle for 75 minutes, says SNEAKO. I think that's fair enough. I said, yeah, 75 minutes is fine. He says, we're good for the Charlie Kirk debate tonight, 6 p.m. I said, yep. Send a link. That was that, right? Very concise, very easy, very simple. There was no restrictions placed on me, or I can only talk about the evidence from the state. There was no restrictions put on me for any of that. The only thing in that debate, I understand that, sometimes it's tough to be a moderator, things like this. The only thing about it that pissed me off was this. There's one part in the debate where SNEAKO said, can you lay out what you guys think happened? I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. And what Stu Peters said was, I will tell you what I don't think happened, which is not what the moderator asked. Moderator asked him to lay out what he did think happened. He said, I'll tell you what I don't think happened. So I was like, this.
So guys, so whoever's joining now, welcome in. Owen, because of StreamYard issues, technical issues, Owen had to cancel. So they're going to reschedule. Audio issues. I was having the same issues. Baron Coleman's having issues. A lot of people are having issues. I bet it'll be fixed by tomorrow. As big as this company is, as much money as they make. So, but nonetheless, I'm just reacting to this video that I saw just now, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, that Andrew uploaded. 2 days ago, he uploaded it, and it's he's doing a debate recap on Andrew, his debate with Stu Peters.
Piece of shit. Won't even. So I did the same thing. I said, well, I'll tell you what I don't think happened. And then I listed off all the shit that Stu Peters has claimed. And SNEAKO goes, well, that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for you to tell us what you think happened. And I'm like, bro, what is with this double standard? Like, this guy literally wouldn't do that. But now the expectation is that I do. And SNEAKO knew right then and there, like, this is now a problem, right? This is now an issue. So that was bullshit. That shouldn't have happened. I saw your debate. The opposing side won't confirm a thing or pick a position on any of their own options. Hard to watch. But was he at Fort? What is it? Kukuchu?
I knew he wasn't going to be able to pronounce it. Yeah, sorry. I don't even know what to say. If anybody's on Kick, I'm trying to look now to see. Oh, thank you guys for following me on Kick. CVP, Tawny, D, Reggie, Droopy. Oh, it's pretty cool. Thank you guys you're my first subs over there. I've got a couple of people too over there watching, so that's cool. I'm assuming it'll only grow from there. I actually like Kick. And when it first came out, thought it was annoying. But you guys know how I feel. I think all this stuff is annoying. I hate devices, screens. I'm like at my place, surrounded by devices and screens. Uh, and so thank you for the comment there. I appreciate it. Love you guys too. Surrounded by this stuff, and I've just come to like really, really dislike it. But it's it's how you have to run your businesses, make your money, and all that, and it's necessary evil, I guess they say. But super annoying that the world's come to this. But I digress. Kick seems pretty cool. It seems like they allow you to be kind of free about what you say. I guess so. We know I will find out one day if I get banned.
Cthulhu, Fort Cthulhu. Stu Peters says 100 things. One of those things happens to be correct. Therefore, Stu Peters is right and you're wrong. And text messages aren't evidence unless you see the sender. Wild. That is wild. By the way,
yeah, text messages, you should be able to corroborate. You should be able to do that just like every other, homicide case. I mean, they look at cell phone tower data. They match it up. Did he have a cell phone on him? Was he in that area? What's the license plate of the vehicle? Was he riding with someone? Could he sent these texts, or could somebody else have sent these messages? It's iMessage. It could have been done on a laptop from in Vietnam. What's the IP address? Like, they do have all this stuff. All that stuff does matter. So not sure why all of a sudden in this case, allegedly that stuff is not around. By the way, those of you who are primarily on Kick, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a good sign, because I intend to probably do most of my work over there. Especially when I eventually cam up, I will be on camera. And again, I don't know what YouTube's gonna do. I haven't even tried. I could monetize, by the way. I have a lot of views. I have enough views, enough subscribers. I could monetize. I could have monetized like last week. But I just haven't. I'm really cynical about all of that stuff. Again, I mean, what are they going to send me? Like $8? I mean, I don't even know if it's worth it. By all accounts, it's from what I hear, it's not really that worth it. I'd rather just have like a crowdsourced, way of like, I communicate with people, try to offer as much value as I can, and get you guys up to date while you're dealing with your own life and your family and all that. And obviously, I will make more from the community, the more value that I can offer. So I 100% intend to offer value as much as I can.
they were to believe that somebody else sent the messages and then gave him his phone so that he could go turn himself. It's just crazy. Who made up his own prompt the entire debate, and SNEAKO was awful at moderating. He did make up his own prompt. I'm only here to discuss the evidence from the state, and that's it. Well, that was not what was agreed to. And I even tried to give him an olive branch. I was like, look, how about 30 minutes? I can critique the positions you've put out there, and then you can spend 30 minutes critiquing mine, where I just answer your questions. He wouldn't agree to that either. Wouldn't agree.
Yes, Andrew is known for his olive branches, guys. He's really known for that. We've been really, between Andrew, his producer, myself, some of the people that he's called out from the Democrat side, liberal side, Z. Sanchez Cohen, who I hadn't even heard of till this year. We've been really active on X. If you guys pay attention, there's been a lot of back and forths and a lot of quote tweeting and subtweeting and all of this stuff. So it's kind of been interesting because, as you know, Andrew, some of you may know, Andrew Wilson was on Joe Rogan yesterday, Wednesday, August 5th. Today is August 6th. I like to drop some of this stuff in. You ever watch a video on YouTube and you're like, when was this? When are you talking about? So I figure I should probably throw the date in once in a while when I'm talking, so people have some context about things.
Treated that either. It's like just nothing but running. Stu agreed. No, ad homs and calls you a TPUSA shill in his opening and then says you're ad homing him. Classic. Yeah, and I didn't ad hom him. Doesn't even know what the that means. So, yeah, I was disappointed in Stu. I thought for sure that I would get more out of him than that, but he refused to defend a single one of his positions. I'm not answering those questions. Like, well, then why am I answering any of yours? I'm only here because TPUSA reps won't debate me. Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Why is it that you don't have to defend any of your positions, but they have to defend theirs, Stu? Anybody answer that for me? Why it is that people are adamant that TPUSA, who's not involved in this at all, has not been accused of doing anything, has to endlessly answer the critiques and questions to them. But it is the case that the opposition never has to answer any questions that are posed to them. I really would love to have an answer to that question. Well, you're not part of the investigation. Neither's TPUSA. What are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? How's Andrew?
Yeah, so as far as TPUSA culpability, I'm just thinking out loud here. I think that if I own a company, whether it's large or small, but if it's large enough to where I'm doing events and I need to security, then it is my responsibility. In other words, it is Charlie's responsibility to keep himself safe and to keep other people safe as well within his organization. So it kind of is, TPUSA kind of is responsible. Now they may, in my opinion, but they may not be the person who ultimately responsible is now deceased. So, you know, how does that work? But there is some culpability there with all of this, and they should be involved. And obviously, all of the Rode microphone he was wearing that day should be available. Anything that, you know, like we could go through it, but you guys understand. It appears to me that there was multiple crime scenes, whether it's the wooded area, the Losi Center, the actual tent, the SUV. So these are all things that either UVU, TPUSA have some like responsibility there, as well as the different agencies involved. So just to blanketly absolve these entities or any entity doesn't seem right to me, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a concerned citizen.
Colvette, part of the Charlie Kirk investigation. He's not a cop. He's been accused of no wrongdoing. Why are you adamant that he needs to debate with you about his positions if you won't defend any of your own? Shout outs to you, man. I appreciate you putting out Debate You. Bought the first course. I've been writing notes like a psycho. Helpful with debates and stuff that'll help with content creation. It's worth the buy on rhetoric right now. Oh, yeah, it's a great course. It's been selling like crazy since the day I've put it out there. Or Tachuca, pronounced like Huachuca, is the home of the U.S. military intelligence. Yeah.
I'm stuffing my face right now. But yeah, he's got this debate course. I'm not going to talk bad about it. I don't know anything about it. I would say that people who put out courses, I think it's perfectly fine for them to do so. If you take a course, or if you are going to buy a course and you look and the reviews are amazing, then great. If they're not amazing, then you probably won't buy it. So I've never been one of those guys to say courses are grifting or anything like that. What I would say, if I was selling this type of product, I would say, hey, I would have a disclaimer, buy this at your own risk. Not everyone's cut out for this. And for all I know, he may have that, but this is my own philosophy here from what I've noticed about certain types of people and how their brain is wired. There's some people that could buy courses all day long on debating and I could just tell you right now, they will never be a good debater. And I've actually told that to people, even my friends on X that have told me, hey, like, how do I get into debating? I want to debate. I've just, you know how I am on X. I'm just like pretty candid. I'll just let them know, like, you're never going to be able to debate. I may say it nicer if it's somebody that I'm not friends with, or if I'm angry with them, or maybe I'm being hostile because I'm actively in a debate, or I just got out of a debate, or what, depending on my mood, I might just say it like that. Like, look, you're not going to make it in a debate. You never will. And so, my reasoning behind that is because it takes a certain type of brain chemistry, brain mapping, wiring, however you want to say it. And if you notice, those who debate also can do comedy. So, like Dave Smith is an example. He's a stand-up comedian, and then he made a simple transition into debating. Wasn't difficult for him at all, and he debates all the time. Andrew has his humorous moments. He's not necessarily an unfunny guy, but what I'm getting at is that you do have to be witty. You have to be able to think on your feet. And these same people, it's not to say they don't lack other things. There's plenty of things that I lack. I am able to think on my feet, but I don't think it's really you develop it. I think it's something you kind of just have. Some people don't have that quick wittedness, but then again, their strengths are in their, whether it's reading comprehension or whatever it may be. But there is, if you want to be able to compete with at a certain level in debate, then it's my opinion that you have to have the kind of the wittiness and the kind of quick response, or be able to, you need to be able to remember a lot of what somebody is saying to you right at that moment. You need to store that, have your response ready to, bring it back out. And you may not even be able to bring it out at that time. You may bring it up later in the debate. So there's a lot there. Is it trainable? I'm not a neurologist. I have no idea. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and it's something that somebody can develop, from 0 to 100. But I just think that I actually don't think so. So that's my opinion. Yes, Andrew and Owen's debate was canceled because of the StreamYard issues that have been happening. Thanks for coming in. So I appreciate those. If you don't want to stick around, then you don't need to stick around. I'm right now reviewing the review. So Andrew is recapping his debate with Stu Peters, and I'm recapping the recap. I'm watching it blindly. I haven't seen it before, but I didn't want to leave the viewers who are waiting hanging, so that I will end up changing the thumbnail, obviously. But hey, good turnout. Thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Let me go back. Let me play. Yeah, so that's what I think about the debate. So if I was doing a debate course, that's what I would say. I would be like, hey, and I actually might look into it and see, hey, who is actually capable? What do you actually need from a psychological standpoint to be able to debate? I might even look into that before I just blanketly just sell a course to everybody and say, hey, learn this and you'll be good to go. So nonetheless, and I kind of know this because I've debated really smart people that I've debated on subjects that people knew really well, even though I didn't know it well, that certain subject, but I still was able to debate them easily because they just had difficulty responding to my questions or remembering things I said minutes prior, or being able to quickly access their own knowledge of the subject. So there it is. There you have it.
Yeah, I'm aware of what it is. The name's just stupid. I want to know why they're crying about Tyler Robinson being tried. Tyler Robinson that walked himself in the police department, full stop. Tyler is the reason why Tyler is in court. It's not relevant. These people have nothing. They never have anything, bro. Nothing. I've never been able to have a substantive debate with any of the people who push this because they refuse to do it. They just won't do a substantive debate. It's always, if you allow us to poke holes in whatever the state's, view is or whatever the state evidence is, then we'll do the debate. But you're not allowed to critique any of our positions. And it's like, why can't we do both? I think it's perfectly fine to question state evidence and attack state evidence and say that you think that there's holes in the narrative, that there's problems, that you believe that, X, Y, Z. That's all fair to do. If I make the claim, which I often do, that thus far, anyway, all evidence points to Tyler, then yeah, sure, I need to defend that claim. But you also have to defend your claims, bro. It can't just be one-ended. It's like you can consistently be critiqued, but nothing that I say ever can be. That's bullshit.
Hey guys, are you happy now? Andrew has given you permission to look into this Kirk case. So there you have it. Anybody who's waiting for Andrew's permission, you can now investigate. Because he said so. He said it's good. You're good to go. You can ask questions.
Where's last night's debate? Up on the website, where it always is. Candace is dumb and debunked her own bullshit, saying that Charlie was, yeah, I know. Look, you're preaching to the choir here. I get it. They won't have a substantive debate because they have nothing of substance to say.
So right now he's going through his super chats and just responding to them. He does all these types of streams like this. And so one thing somebody said, the pickle jar thing, it's kind of funny. I've never trolled him about the pickle jar because I know you guys are going to hate this, but I do have respect for the guy. I just like attacking his arguments and showing him how some of his arguments don't make any sense. That's what I like doing that in debate. One thing about me is I do not, I match energy. I do not, I try not to use profanity. These platforms are for ages 13 up typically. So I try to be mindful of that the best I can. I have definitely used profanity before. People can push me there, and I'm not proud of that. But in general, there is another aspect to this, and I'm going to get into a little bit of the gender dynamic because women don't understand this a lot. And so if women, obviously, most of you know how I am and some of my views, but if some of you leave because of this or unsubscribe, I get it. It is what it is. But whether you like it or not, there's definitely differences between men and women. And men always have a threat of violence. And so with that threat of violence, we know from a young age, you can't just say whatever you want to another man, whether online or definitely not in person. Everybody should know, men and women, that men can be psychotic and do crazy things. So we don't even, any respectable man is with any kind of common sense is not going to just talk about another man's wife, girlfriend, whatever, because that man could find you and hunt you down and do all kinds of things. So it's not so some women, I don't know, I couldn't tell you a percentage, but a lot, maybe some that didn't have to deal with that strict father, will say anything. They'll talk about Andrew's wife. They'll talk about, they'll just go below the belt because they know that, oh, this man's not going to find me and he's not going to beat me up. Well, a man can do that. Men would go after a woman. They would go after another man, obviously. And so there's certain men, especially online when you're talking to the whole world, that will like try to harm you. So there's that threat of violence. So I always keep that in mind. I know you guys say a lot of stuff in chat or whatever about his wife and all kinds of things. That's not me. I never go there. Have I ever done it with somebody online? 100%. I've definitely done it, but I match energy. If somebody's going to talk about me or my mom or my significant other, whatever, they're going to go below the belt. It tells me a couple things. One, they're pretty stupid. Like they maybe didn't have a father figure, or maybe they have not been in a physical altercation before. But who knows? When men behave this way, though, where they'll go below the belt, you know that is a problem. That is not a man that you should want to associate with. But anyways, I just went on that rant because I saw the pickle jar thing. I think the pickle jar thing is kind of harmless. It's a harmless insult. But me personally, I don't, I don't, make fun of him about that. I just more try to look at it, what he's saying logically, and kind of go after that, which, by the way, he hates that more. He hates being incorrect, where he's logically wrong on certain things, and he will definitely argue until the cows come home in regards to things that we're trying to prove his point. So a little bit about that.
Nothing. They won't defend a single claim. They won't defend a single claim. It's really amazing to me how the questioners refuse themselves to be questioned. Why is that not just completely off-putting to the world that the questioners refuse themselves to take any questions? What?
Sorry about that. So what? The StreamYard's been acting up. So what? Yeah, it's been rescheduled. Is it rescheduled for tomorrow? I didn't know it was for tomorrow. I haven't been on X, so I don't know. But yeah, it has been rescheduled because of technical issues. Yeah, Rachel. I mean, does Rachel go below the belt? She matches energy too. I can't remember, but I know both of them go below the belt, but they usually wait for somebody to go below the belt first, and then they go below the belt. So it's hard to say, but again, online culture is different. You can get carried away. There's times I've gotten carried away and stepped out of my own boundaries. Like maybe I was just having a bad day. Sometimes people have bad days. So
This is the value of your heroes and soldiers on the other side. They're so weak, they can't defend a single one of their claims because they know none of them hold up to scrutiny. That is wild to me. First day of going to Orthodox Church today. I want to thank you and Jay for leading me to Orthodoxy. Hope to be baptized this year. Congratulations, man. Just had Vespers with my Protestant father. It was nice. May God bless you and your family, Andrew. Thank you. Mr. E needs to bring me another beer. Everything can be questioned, but the questioners themselves. And what's interesting is like they would probably have a better leg to stand on if all they did was say, look, I'm just saying that I don't know that the evidence against Tyler is very good, but I'm going to just follow the evidence, and that's all I'm focusing on. They all make claims beyond that. All of them. Ian Carroll makes.
I don't know. I've been willing to defend my claims that I've made. I think I've been pretty clear when I've debated him about Kirk. Some of this he's making up. All of these people give great detail about the paper trails for certain things, police records, charging documents, pleadings, motions, medical examiner reports, timeline of events. Every independent investigator I've seen on X, they go through all that, and I don't I think Andrew, from what I've seen, he's just been dismissive of it. She called me crazy in similar words. Well, Marilyn, you look hot, so you could be crazy. You know, if you're high up there on the hot scale, but that's your PFP. I don't know, and it's kind of small, so I can't really tell. But I didn't know you debated her or talked to her, Marilyn. When did you talk to her? Droopy, I'm trying to catch up in the chat.
Claims beyond that. Stu Peters has made many claims beyond that. Candace Owens makes claims beyond that, and Baron Coleman makes claims beyond that. They all make claims beyond, I'm just following evidence and critiquing it. And those claims are directly related to their narrative about the Kirk assassination, and they refuse to answer any questions or allow themselves to be put up for a critique of any of those views. However, the opposition.
Would you guys like a special treat? Since you're bringing up Rachel, I would be happy to play a clip of me debating, having a back and forth exchange with the Mrs. Wilson. She doesn't like Rachel, actually. She likes Mrs. Wilson. So I will respect that. But I can play that for you in a little bit if you stick around. I had a good, probably a 15-minute back and forth with her a couple months ago, when she was talking about TPUSA, explaining about how they went to TPUSA to train debaters, when everybody was calling them shills, Zionist shills, and all of this stuff. There is an entire space about that. So if you guys hang out, I will play that. What I will tell you, I'll spoil it a little bit, she kicked me out of that space.
It is expected that they do so. The excuse for this, well, a man's life hangs in the balance. First of all, that's not for you. That's for law enforcement. But even assuming it was, if that is in fact the case, then why would you demand that people who aren't involved in this at all, like most of the members of TPUSA, have to answer your questions? Why? Who's accused any of them of a crime? Nobody. I don't want to talk about Stu's past, but if you want to cringe so hard you feel it in your stomach, check out his former rap career. Oh, no, not a rapper. Good Lord. Husband and I had a fantastic time at DebateCon. He said we'll be at every Crucible event from now on. Thank you for the immense hospitality and community. Here's some more of my husband's money for the woman tax. Well, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Stu gave the game away when he said that they were trying to get you to defend his position so that it'll open him up to a lawsuit. That is one of the...
I don't know. I'm Gen X. I don't know what a goose stepper is. Am I going to get banned for saying that? I don't know what that is. I'll risk it.
Craziest narratives which has come out of all of this. Stu Peters' position was that I, Andrew Wilson, met with TPUSA attorneys and came up with a plan to debate these people so that they would reveal what they actually thought about the investigation, therefore opening themselves up to defamation lawsuits. Now, can we just point something out which is interesting here? If it's the case that you think that you're telling the truth and you get sued for defamation and that led to the disclosure of discovery, why wouldn't you take that deal? I thought that's the entire point of investigating. This would be different if you had a lawsuit that's based on frivolity and nonsense, and the other person wants to open you up for those same things. But if you're an investigator and you have no access to this information, then why in the world, if you have the avenue of getting the information through discovery, would you not take it? Why? That makes zero sense. I'm investigating this because I don't believe that what they're saying is true. Got you. What kind of information would you need? I would need things like messages, text messages back and forth, documents, things like this, which would help my case, help me prove my case. But I don't have access to any of that because they don't have to turn it over because they're not under investigation for anything. Well,
What chat setting am I? Because some things are being said that aren't supposed to be said. I should have some mods in here. I do. I don't know, dude. I just delete whatever you want. I'm sorry. I intend to get banned. I'm sorry, guys. But on Kick, I won't be banned. So eventually, not eventually, I'm already on Kick, but eventually I guess my Kick would look nice. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm okay. Okay. Yeah. I see on Kick it got erased or deleted. Oh boy, the joys of the internet. But yes, I am on Kick, so you can sub. It's the same at. On Kick, it's the same at X Uncle Tom X. I was trying to post it in the chat again, but I can't find a copy and paste it. But nonetheless, yeah, things will be said. I got a lot of mods though. Thank you guys for helping out.
Let me show you a quick way that you can deal with that. Get sued by one of these people and then take it to discovery. Now you have access to those messages and documents. Candace Owens so concerned that she is getting sued that she went for dismissal. Why wouldn't she go for discovery? Likely because it works both ways. You'll discover very little from TPUSA or any of the people who were suing her, but it's very likely that we would discover a whole lot of the coordinated efforts, including her supposed sources, when she had to hand over discovery.
Oh, I guess that's it.
The last 100
Oh,
years
wow.
because technology
My
made and
computer
maintained
froze.
Things start
Hold on.
getting leaked.
thing that allows you to believe you don't need.
Hold on, guys. Okay. So I'm gonna play that video. I need to give you a video in the meantime. I feel like I need to, because I don't have it pulled up yet. Well, maybe I can find it really fast. Let's see. It's not a video. It's audio. Rachel Wilson and myself engaging, going back and forth. I was going to do a whole video on that, but in lieu of there not being a debate between Owen and Andrew tonight, I might as well play this. Let's see here. If there's anything else also that you want to chat about, let me know. If you see something pop up on X, or if there's another video, interesting video. Keep me posted. Check out some of my other videos I uploaded recently as well if you want. Save them, download them, like and subscribe. All right, so I'm going back. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm in the background here scrolling through some posts to get to this. And I want to say it was like July 15th. Early July. She doesn't do very many X spaces. I really kind of, for lack of a better phrase, this one was kind of like a, to me, it felt a little bit like a damage control, because they were being called Zionist shills and all that, which they're not really. They don't like Zionism. They don't like any of that. I pretty much know that for a fact. Andrew's debated it plenty of times. See, they're Orthodox. But again, they did make money from essentially what you would say would be Zionist donors, or donors up from our greatest ally. That did happen at least one day that we know of. The one day they went to Arizona to train the debaters. So their idea is that they can change the organization TPUSA and not make it a pro-Israel organization, but I would say to that it's not going to happen. And honestly, I don't know why anybody think they could do that, especially when your donors, most of your money, allegedly, in my opinion, is coming from overseas. So it is what it is. Okay, I'm running. Okay, I think I'm getting close. July 10th. I'm not looking at the chat right now, but I'm gonna look back because I want to see what you guys might be interested at talking about, discussing. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, honestly. There's just so much content these days. The last 2 to 3 weeks, it's just been insane. Okay, so here it is. This one. So it says, you can see here, let's talk Andrew Wilson, me, TPUSA, and Kirk conspiracies. So this is the one. I'm trying to look at the chat right now, guys. I'm looking. I don't know what was said. Chats are being deleted. Thanks for sharing my kick. I appreciate that. I think a lot of platforms are going to be disappointed they didn't do away with the speech censorship, because a lot of people are going to be going to Kick. SNEAKO's on Kick. A lot of people are on Kick, so they can say what they want. Change later settings later in Kick. Okay. Oh, because are people on Kick trying to get my stream taken down? Marilyn James from Modern Day Debate tried to get me to debate Rachel a while back, but I don't know. Something about her makes me not care what she thinks. Oh, well, that's cool. That means you might be a good debater then if Modern Day was reaching out to you. Cool. I will debate you if you want. Depends on what. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. You're new here. You're not new. You've been here. I see you all the time. You're not new.
The nation. I don't know. The days all run together. For him and Rob Knorr to teach the young crop of new, like young people, college age debaters who are doing the pick up the mic tour. They're going to be the folks who are going to be going out to the college campuses and debating leftists. A lot of people seem to get this bizarre idea that Andrew was there to train people at TPUSA how to debate the assassination stuff. No, I had somebody trying to assert that earlier. No, it was literally everybody got, you know, the same instruction from Andrew that you would get if you got like his course. They got a copy of that, and he was teaching them the basics and fundamentals of debating leftists, how to understand the progressive worldview, how to handle an internal critique, how to do an internal critique, how to handle hecklers, how to handle people who constantly try to derail the debate, people who, you know, like spotting weaknesses, all this stuff that you guys would kind of know Andrew for doing. He has 2 courses on debate that he sells that are very, very good, very in-depth, that go over all these fundamentals and teach people how to do a good job at debating. So
So they went for one day. I called Andrew out on this. I was like, you cannot teach someone to debate in one day. I confronted Andrew. I said, look, you're teaching them canned, scripted responses to things because you can't teach debate like conceptually, or even debate or the theory, or you can't really do much in one day. So logic and reason, you can't teach people logic and reason in one day. By the way, Tamara, nice try. We know you're not new. I know you didn't mean anything by it. I'm just giving you a hard time. So yeah, one day, guys.
Charlie Kirk is no longer around. God rest his soul. It's like, who else would you want to go do that? You know, and they needed some help training up these guys, because the people who, you know, run the organization are not mostly debaters. They're, you know, they have people who do marketing, they have people who organize events, they have people who do all sorts of things. It's not filled with people who are amazing debaters. So they were like, how do we help this next crop of people who are going to try to pick up the mic, which is why it was called that, and get back onto the campuses and prevent the Marxists from taking back over. You guys might know that there's a crummy little stupid organization called the Unfuck America Tour, headed by Z. Cohen Sanchez, and working with people like Not So Erudite, Destiny, and a few others, Brian Shapiro.
So you guys have heard that before. That's been all the talk of the town. They're like they've been the biggest why can't I say that? Publicity? They've been the biggest publicity arm for Un-F America so far. Talking about them on Joe Rogan. If you guys see it, it's all over the timeline today. Yeah, Marilyn, what were you saying? What would you even debate me on, Marilyn? And why'd you say that I don't know what I'm asking for? I debate women all the time, and it's never really that difficult. I'm sorry to say, don't shoot the messenger. Not really a messenger. I'm the direct source saying it, but still, don't shoot me. Yeah, but I've met some. It's not a sign of intelligence. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It's just brains work in different ways. And there's some women who, the ones that like to argue a lot, they can be good. It's out there. I just haven't run into many. But again, it's it's per capita, right? I think I debate probably men mostly anyway. So
you know, and their stated goal was to follow Charlie Kirk around to college campuses and copy his tactics, his business model, how he was doing things, because he was so effective. And then now that he's gone, Z has said her goal is to take that back. She wants to be the left-wing answer to TPUSA. You don't have to believe me. She's made videos saying this is her stated goal. Obviously, we don't want that. So when Andrew was asked if he wanted to help to train the new crop of debaters so that the leftists don't just walk in and take all the college campuses back, you know, he had questions. He made sure like that their expectations were fine with him, that he was going to be teaching things that were things that they wanted. Like, obviously they discussed terms.
All right, so you guys get the sentiment of this. You see Rachel's trying to discuss, kind of give the details about what took place, because they were getting a lot of pushback from a lot of people, especially the truthers were saying a lot, saying things like, you guys got $7,000 in shekels and on and on and on. So they wanted to come clean. She does talk about Candace. So I'll skip ahead. Let me see.
That's what he does. It's Andrew's whole show. If you ever watch The Crucible, I know a lot of you people, if you just found the Wilsons today or something, you might think, oh, he's the guy from whatever, and she's his wife or whatever. Andrew has a very popular show of his own and a very popular YouTube channel with a very big audience. And what he does and what he's always done and how he got popular was by debating crazy people, stupid people, crazy people, people who are wrong, whatever you want to call it. Everything from, leftists, the extreme radical trans folks, Muslims, anybody that opposes are more like, Andrew would say he's a paleo-conservative Orthodox Christian. Anybody who opposes that, the crazier the better. That's what he loves to do. He likes to wreck the libs. He likes to destroy progressives. And he likes to dismantle lunatics on the internet because, especially post-COVID, a lot of these people get a cult-like following. There were actually a ton of cults that sprang up after the lockdowns because of the psychology of people being locked down. And Andrew used to do a whole segment called Lunatics on the Internet, where he would find faith healers, people claiming to be star children, people claiming to be archangels, just the lunatics of the internet, who anybody he found was getting a large following and was clearly batshit crazy. And he would confront them on their stuff and ask them to prove their claims and stuff like that. So he's been doing this for...
What do you mean? You debate people about God? Okay. I don't know if I get it. Everything should be free. I don't know. I don't get it. You lost me already.
For 5 years, 6 years, something like that. The reason Andrew is wanting to debate people like Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman, Candace Owens is not and never has been because he's being paid by anyone to do it. He's doing it sheerly for his own pleasure. I can assure you of that. He loves this shit. That's what he wakes up in the morning ready to do. Is he likes intellectual battles, he likes ideological battles, and he thinks that these people are stupid and wrong, and that's why he wants to debate them. Now, as far as me, I've been super consistent. I just reposted something that I posted back in December, and I started posting this very soon after the assassination. I've been saying from the beginning consistently, do not listen to this. You're going to see this huge crop of people come out of the woodwork, and they're going to tell you that they have this secret information. They've cracked the code. They know who really did it and why.
So, cracking the code. I do bring this up to her. So I know I've been skipping around because I didn't want to listen. I didn't want you to have to hear the whole thing. It's over. I don't start talking till 40 minutes in, so I didn't want you to have to listen to all of it. But the crack the code thing, I did bring that up to her because I don't know what would be the problem there. I mean, people can discover things. They do it all the time on the internet. They can discover people's locations, names of people, all kinds of things that would help with an investigation. So I don't know why she would be discouraging that. Seems pretty flawed. All right, so I'm going to jump into it. And I'm just going to let it play so you can hear the interaction.
Yeah, good to see you on here. I'm really happy that you were doing housework today, first and foremost.
Doing housework every day.
Yeah, she had said earlier there that she was doing housework, so I had to throw that in.
Almost every time someone tells me to get off Twitter and get back in the kitchen, I'm like, bro, I'm tweeting while I'm waiting to flip the bacon, dude. Like, I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. I guess you can eat bacon. Are you just doing that to get the Muslims mad at you?
Well, I don't eat the bacon because I'm still, I've been like cutting weight for the last like forever, and I still have a few more pounds to go. So I'm not eating it, but Andrew loves his bacon. So he gets bacon with his breakfast every day.
I'm sorry to hear that your income went down. I don't like to hear that. Yes, America, like that's why I'm here. I'm a concerned citizen. Everything is just expensive, and it's I don't want to get into it because we'll start talking about war. That's why I wanted to hear this debate between Owen and Andrew so bad, because Owen, I think he's addressing the issues head on, and a lot of other people aren't. So I wanted to hear that. So I'll play some more of this.
Fair. Yeah. Well, you guys know I've been supporting you guys for a while. I don't.
Have
Hopefully,
you though?
yeah. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I mean, Andrew knows, so I don't know if you would know or not. As you said, you're not on here a lot, so not sure.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think so. A lot of what you said, though, I'm glad Andrew is here because he's probably going to need to jump on here because a lot of what you said is pretty flawed, and I don't think you can defend it, especially against me. You're going to have a really difficult time, but you can
Okay,
try.
go for it. Go for it.
Well, so
Let
there's
me
a couple.
have it.
Well, you just said that, yeah, I'm gonna wait for everything and all that. So if Tyler is acquitted, right? So now
Mhm.
you're gonna start your investigation now, 10 months later. Like
No, wait.
that would be
Here's the
silly.
difference. Here's the difference. I'm not going to investigate shit. Okay.
Sure, right.
I'm
I know
not an
that.
investigator. Like somebody like Myron, who's in the space right now, who has a law enforcement background, has
Yeah, who
more
doesn't believe that Tyler did it, but keep going.
right, and maybe he has good reasons for that. But I also know that Myron doesn't just recklessly put bullshit out into the sphere that he can't back up.
Fair.
He doesn't
No,
do
I
that,
don't
which
agree with
why I like him.
recklessness. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
mine too.
but
I
I've
don't agree
heard
with
you
recklessness, but of
assert.
course,
I've
you and
heard
I
you
aren't the
assert
arbiter of
garbage.
that. You and I aren't the arbiter.
No,
I'm not.
but I'm
Okay.
not some kind of internet investigator who's going to crack the code and figure out who did it. Okay, that's not
Yeah.
what I do. So
Well, I can move to
like
that. Let's talk about
I'm a
cracking the
historian,
code.
so
And I know I'm not trying to talk over you, but I have a list here, and so let's talk about
Okay.
cracking the code. We'll segue to that because you did make mention of, yeah, you're tuning in for secret information when talking about Candace or Baron and all that. Well, actually, information has come out. Pictures behind Charlie, the SUV that was auctioned, the Carfax on the SUV, the condition of it, what was inside of it. Like Charlie was in there, like a bullet fragment could have come out potentially. And that's a crime scene. You need
Okay.
all of those. Well, hold on. You're
let
gonna
me stop
why are
you
you
right
gonna
there, though.
interrupt?
No,
Well,
because
why?
I'll
Okay.
tell you why. Because this space is not let's run the evidence.
No,
Okay.
no. I don't want
I'm
to
not
run
gonna
the
sit here and
evidence.
go
You're
through
not
the evidence.
qualified to run or look at the evidence. So you haven't. You admitted you're
Neither
doing
are
housework.
you.
I didn't say I was. I'm saying, but you definitely don't know what's going on. You're doing housework. Remember, you said you're not on X, really. So
But
I'm
what
just,
I'm saying,
but I'm
no,
just,
just
but what
I'll
did,
let
okay,
you
what
keep
I
going in
said
a
there, did
second,
it
but I
make
have
sense
to.
though?
Okay,
What
dude,
did it?
don't make me mute you. Don't make me mute you. So here's the thing: is for you to say, "Isn't this is just an example of what you do?" You go, "Isn't this weird?" I don't know if Beaten Cheeks muted you. I didn't mute you.
No, I muted. Because I was
Okay,
talking over
okay.
you. I didn't want to do that. Go ahead.
For you to you don't even if the Carfax came out, even if it's weird, even if you're like, shouldn't they have done this? Shouldn't they have done that? Okay, you don't know why they did it. You don't have access to that. You don't have access to know. Like I've heard people say all this kind of shit, like, oh, the autopsy should have been done this way, the timeline should have gone like that, they should have brought him here first. How could they just take him and there was no ambulance and they just drove him there? That's weird. They should have done chest compressions first. Why wasn't this done? Why did they do it in this order? It's like that's the stuff that you and I don't have access to. We don't have access to the information that would tell us potentially why that was done. So we're just speculating about it. You can speculate, but what you need to do is make clear that what you're doing is speculating and that all you have is speculation. You don't know that that the SUV was still needed, or that they hadn't already gone through it, that they didn't already have forensics turn it inside out. Like, they might have a good reason for not keeping that in perpetuity forever. Okay, we don't know.
Right. But speculation, that's baked in. If you don't know people are speculating, that's obvious. It's like obvious people are speculating. And you also mentioned, and we can talk more about that, but I just wanted to correct the record. You said, oh, secret information is not coming out. Secret information did come out. So can you correct that? Pictures from behind Charlie was independent investigators coming out with that.
I
So,
can't verify what you're saying. I can't
so do you
verify
need
that
the
what
picture?
you're
Like,
telling me.
what do you, I don't
Yeah, what I'm telling you is I'm not going to go through every little piece of what you guys call evidence and try to I would literally do nothing else with my life, okay?
No,
So,
that's fine. Yeah, I don't think you're getting the point. I think what you said at the beginning of this space is was true, was that, you just want people to do whatever they're going to do, and you're fine with that, and we're fine, and or just your perspective in general. I'm fine with your perspective of having your opinions about whatever, but you said Andrew debates for fun and like lunatics for fun. Well,
yes.
this Charlie dying is not fun to anybody, and he's derailing other people's investigations. So just
No,
do
no, no.
your wait, hold, like I haven't
There's
gotten to
plenty
speak,
of
and you're just
people who are having fun. There's
oh,
plenty of people who are and they might not be
I
like
get it,
laughing
but
or giggling, but they're super into this. They're very obsessed with it. And a lot of the fans who follow this stuff are like, ooh, I'm part of we're investigating, guys. Oh my gosh, we're investigating a murder. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, so exciting. We're investigating the murder. Oh my gosh, a picture was leaked. Oh, we got to look at the picture. What if this happened? And what if this is the person who
But
leaked
is
the
it
picture? And maybe they
plausible? Is it plausible that there's people that have fun, and is it plausible that there's people who really care deeply about someone
Oh,
that was
yeah.
unalived?
I don't know the motivations. Like, so Candace, for
Sure,
instance,
but why are you?
I don't know her. I don't know her motivations. What I do know is that she has already been wrong about several things. She's already had to backtrack. She already had a guy on as one of her like kind of proof witnesses who is a well-known bullshit artist, and she's done this sort of thing kind of on repeat to the point that she gets sued by almost every single one of
Who
these
was the
people that she
BS
goes
artist?
after.
Who was the BS
That
artist?
snow guy. That snow guy.
No, there's arrest records. He was arrested at Fort Wachua. So I don't know what you mean by that was
No,
all
so
founded. It was founded. There's a
no, it
police.
wasn't.
Yes, it
No, it
was. He
wasn't.
was there. He was arrested. He was
That
there.
doesn't mean that he
He,
is some kind
I'm
of
just
expert, credible
no. I
witness.
don't. I'm
He
not
is someone
saying he
who's gotten
was.
caught. So like this happens all the time. Do you know how many people, and this is where my background in this area is important. There are so many people who claim to be former CIA, former intelligence, former military, whatever, and then they want to come out and tell you their secrets. Like Bob Lazar would be a great example, right? He worked at Area 51. He knows the secret alien stuff. He's going to tell you the insider information that only he could know, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the guy's been debunked 1,000 times. Okay.
Fair, but that doesn't
Same thing with
matter for
Yuri
his
Bezmenov.
testimony.
Yes, it does. It makes
No,
them not credible. Yes.
right,
So
right, but
Yuri
only in very
Bezmenov.
rare circumstances can you attack
Mm,
a witness or someone's testimony and attack their credibility. It's only in rare circumstances. So I don't think you
no,
are aware of that.
why? How can you just assert that? Based on what are you basing that off of? So Yuri Bezmenov, the famous Russian defector who came here and said a bunch of based sounding stuff that sounded good to Cold War people, and that he's still repeated to this day all over the internet as though he was a credible person when it's been debunked that he was a disinfo agent. Like, this is the other thing. Do you guys know about stuff like COINTELPRO? Do you know that
Yeah, it's
the
rule
three-letter
it's rule
agents have
608. It's here, rule 608. You generally cannot attack a witness's credibility using extrinsic evidence.
what are you
So
quoting?
the federal rules of evidence. So if he's
The
giving a
federal rules of
testimony,
evidence given by
yes.
who?
What
What
apparently the
organization does
Fed,
this come from?
the Fed. So you're
No, what
saying
are
you
you
can
looking at?
hold on.
Wait a minute.
Let-
No, you hold on. This is my space. What are you looking at that you're reading rule whatever to me from?
Well, it's the burden is not on me to give you what I'm reading. It's not
Do you
on
see
me.
what I mean?
No,
Okay,
what do you mean? I said rule 6. Okay,
you just proved my point. Thank you,
prove your
dumbass.
point about what? What? You're calling me a
You
dumbass now?
Yes,
Why?
dude, I've called you a dumbass because you're literally low IQ and you don't know
Oh
it.
my God. No,
Yeah,
literally
you
nobody
are.
thinks
Yeah.
that. Nobody
Yeah.
thinks that.
Yes, they do.
Okay,
'Cause
listen.
when I
Listen,
say, what
let's
are you reading
you
to me
can't
from? You're like, well,
I
you have
I
to
already
figure it
said
out.
I already literally said, but now you want to pull an Andrew and like, what do you want me to? How much further do you want me to dig?
You
I'm telling
said-
you.
Okay,
I'm
the
just.
federal
I just.
what? What
I
is it?
I just.
Tell me again.
Federal rules of evidence.
Okay, and who issues this? Like, where does
Okay.
that come from?
Okay, hold on.
Where do
hold
I
on,
find it?
Hold on.
Federal. Okay.
Rule 608, a witness's character for
Okay, what are you
truthfulness.
reading from though? Rule
Oh,
608 of
jeez.
what?
Hold
Rule
on.
608 of silly
Hold on.
shenanigans that Uncle Tom made up.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
See, you
Can't
don't even know
believe
what
I
you're
have to do.
reading from.
Look,
Yeah,
look.
you have to. You should be
No,
able
I
to
don't
believe
mind.
that
I
you
don't
have
mind.
to.
I don't mind doing it. Okay, but you see how I didn't say ask you, because you're the one who asserted that you can just start attacking the credibility of a witness, and you can't. You can only
Yes,
do
you
that in
can.
specific Okay, well, so then show me where you can. You're asserting that.
Okay, first, let me help you with something. When
Oh
Rachel
my
Wilson,
goodness.
yeah, I'm going to help you out here, buddy. When Rachel,
Okay, guys, she's going to help me out. She's getting ready to help me out. So she clearly made an assertion that she's unable to substantiate. She's trying to make me substantiate something that I didn't need. I don't need to, because I didn't need to. So, well, really, I did substantiate anyways. But she started off saying, like, saying Mitch Snow is not credible. So he was, in fact, allegedly arrested. People have the paperwork at Fort Wachua. So I mean, as far as saying, so his testimony again can't be refuted just because he may have done something in the past or whatever it is. But yeah, let's keep the profanity out of the chat best we can. All right, I'm gonna keep playing this.
Wilson goes on a podcast and she says, I quote a feminist, right? I tell you, Simone de Beauvoir said this. I can tell you it's from her 1973 interview with Betty Friedan on this radio station. I can tell you where my source is and what my source is. I don't just start going, I could do the same thing to you right now. I could go, actually, Uncle Tom, Rule 765 says that I can actually discredit the witness if it's been proven that they've been known liars and bullshitters in the past.
I understand your point
and
here.
you would say, where are you getting that from? And I go, I don't know. It's just Rule 762 of the federal thing.
This is why I can't
and you'd
talk
go,
to
where did
women.
I?
Women, this is terrible.
Yeah,
So I
let's pretend
understand
that
what you're
I'm
talking
not the
about. I'm
rational
telling
one.
you, I understand. What I'm saying is, when I'm coming into an open discourse about and having a conversation about this, I didn't know. Had no foreknowledge you were just going to bring up, hey, and assert. You can just start attacking Candace's witness testimony, even though it's a witness she brought on and she tried to vet the best she can. She didn't say, hey, when you guys listen to this guy, everything he says is going to be a fact and you must trust him. She's not doing any of that.
No.
You're just making a lot of this up.
Okay, well, I thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. But the reason that I'm not going to sit here and chat with you all night is because I already did what I needed to do with you coming up here. Mitch Snow is a known bullshit artist. He's a person who we know goes from place to place, asserting bullshit. Same thing, like I brought up 2 examples.
So she removed me. Hey, how was I disingenuous? Because that's not what he said. That's not what who said. You do realize this is a woman speaking, right? Excuse me. Brother, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not what Mitch said. I think you're from the Crucible crew coming over here to cope. Remember, we can always remove people from the chat. If you want to remove somebody, just buy me an MRE for my bunker. And just let me know who you want to remove, and we will get them removed. So I'm going to let this play some more because I'm going to bring up another video or another audio that is actually related to this, and you'll see why.
Bob Lazar and Yuri Bezmenov, known disinfo agents. If it's a known disinfo agent and you bring them on your show, even if the thing they said was correct, you have just discredited yourself as a truth-seeking investigator. There are journalistic principles, and Candace, I just saw on her Sean Ryan interview, she calls herself an independent investigative journalist. And one of the first rules of doing that kind of work is that you had better know what your proof is, and you have to be able to cite where it comes from, and you have to know that your source is valid and reputable. If you make a habit of using discredited sources or not even knowing what it is you're quoting, like you do all the time, Uncle Tom, not even knowing where the fuck you got your shit from, why should anyone listen to you? If I was operating this way and I was going around saying feminism was this social engineering project that was never grassroots, it was astroturfed by powerful industrialists and other people who had a vested interest in rearranging society, and here's all the reasons. If I couldn't tell you where I got that information and you couldn't verify that my sources were accurate, trustworthy, and verifiable, you shouldn't listen to me. The only reason anybody listens to me about the stuff I say is because I know the difference, right? A lot of these people, Uncle Tom included, and most of these streamers who are crackpot, half-ass streamers who are running with these conspiracy theories, they cannot discern between valid sources and invalid sources. They don't know a primary source versus a secondary source. They don't know the difference between proof and evidence. They don't know the difference.
Should I need to rename the channel Crackpot, the Crackpot channel, because I'm a crackpot streamer apparently.
Between speculation and facts. For a lot of people who don't know how to properly think and categorize things, it all goes together. And Uncle Tom is one of the worst offenders of this. And this is why I'm sorry if I come off mean, but I'm always telling him, dude, you're just low IQ. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't understand categories of knowledge. You have no idea what you're talking about, in short. But he just demonstrated it for you guys. He starts going, oh, actually, Rule 608 says that blah, 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 blah. And I go, wait, Rule 608 of what? He goes, the federal code.
Oh, actually, I substantiated my claim and you didn't substantiate your claim. Oh.
I go, okay.
I literally said federal rules of evidence. It's literally a thing.
Where are you getting that from? Like, what agency publishes this? Who uses it? Why is it a standard we should listen to? Well, I don't know. Why do I have to tell you all that? I didn't know I was going to have to say all that. And it's like, well, of course you do. You should expect that you should have to say all that. And this is my point.
Right. You need to substantiate why you think Mitch Snow is not credible. And why, if he's not credible, why would that matter about his testimony on September 8th, 2025? How would that be related? If he's not credible because he lied about some other random thing like hooking up with a prostitute, why would that matter related to his eyewitness testimony? So there's that. little bit of Darvo. We got a little bit of Darvo happening, guys.
My point is, you shouldn't listen to people like Uncle Tom because he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? Who else has been waiting for a minute? Josie's been waiting for a minute. Go ahead, Josie. Josie, go ahead. You gotta unmute yourself.
I will zoom in so you can see Josie. Josie is a funny lady. She is, in my mind, insufferable. I don't think Rachel's insufferable, but I think Josie's insufferable. So if you think Rachel's insufferable, you really won't like Josie. So there's that.
I wonder if maybe she's not connected or something. Oh, there she is. Josie, did you have a question or something you wanted to say?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. There was like your voice was like looping, like echoing. That was kind of annoying. Yeah.
Oh.
First of all, Uncle Tom, I'm sorry. You're literally retarded. Okay, that's number one. Number two, like you go put when you go quote somebody, like I'm sorry, I don't recall Myron ever saying that he believed that Tyler Robinson isn't the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. He did say that there were inconsistencies with the 30 out 6 narrative, but that he wanted to wait until the trial because that's just the smart thing to do. And I 100% agree with him. So I think if you want to pick on something controversial with Myron, there's plenty of topics to pick from. But this one ain't it, bro. Okay? So stop being a retard. Okay? Understand that you probably get more views than you normally get when you talk about that stuff because people are retarded, okay? But this ain't it.
So she got up there to talk about me. I'm not there. I can't defend myself. She's not adding to the conversation anything related to TPUSA or the Wilsons or anything. It was just to come, and this is someone who's DM'd me before to say, hey, can I come in the space? Because you're having a space and Andrew Wilson's in there. So I want to come in and I want a mic. Can you give me a mic? Like, this is this woman.
And don't be bullshitting that you were always supporting Andrew and Rachel, okay? Like every single time I would like find in one of your like 10 people space, you were like talking shit. So please,
Yeah.
spare me the I always supporting you guys. Like, just shut the fuck up.
I guess he doesn't know that I can go into those things and listen anonymously. I don't care. Like, plenty of people don't like me. That's fair. People don't have to like me. They don't have to believe me. None of that. That's fine. But I mean, he's very two-faced. Let's be real, and he's completely retarded. And I have caught him lying about stuff, and I have debunked his supposed facts so many times. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. I've confronted him in this space. Andrew has confronted him in spaces. I've like fact checked him on multiple things that were just blatantly wrong. Like things that he and you ask him, where did you get that? And he goes, I saw a picture. I heard someone say it. I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't debunk me on anything. I made a claim several months back that Ryan Ruth, Cole Allen, Thomas Crooks were all in different commercials, mainstream commercials, either a BlackRock commercial, Thomas Crooks, Cole Allen was some ABC segment, and Ryan Ruth was in some segment as well, mainstream. So I find that odd about all of these, and these three people all did like attempted unalivings of Trump, and I find the statistical probability of that like astronomical, and probably like, yeah, probably not real in my opinion, allegedly. So I called him out. I confronted Andrew with this probability, And Rachel's like, yeah, where was that? Are you sure they were in the news? They weren't in the news. They weren't in any BlackRock commercials. Yeah, Thomas Crooks was. The other two were in different mainstream media outlet segments. Yep.
There's so much stuff, bro. I can't even keep track. And it's like, okay, if you wanted to do this correctly, which none of these people do, and this is the other thing that irritates me, they're lazy. Create a fucking file, okay? Create a document and put your sources and your evidence so that
A
when
lot
you
of
go
people
into it,
did, but there's still nothing in there. That's the problem.
right?
And
Well,
quite
that's
frankly,
the thing.
the previous stream that Andrew did, which had mostly a lot of the information that I also ended up finding, but quite frankly, Candace sues the oblivion out of anyone who speaks against her. So you just kind of have to be like, okay, I'm gonna sit on that one for a little bit. But there's a lot more evidence that Blue and all of these organizations are actually paying people to destroy TPUSA because
Yes.
they want to take back the institutions where young people are at.
Yeah, of course. And that
They're just so Josie follows around Andrew and Rachel, and she just parrots whatever they say. She has no evidence of what she just said. She's just espousing this randomly, just to like get close to the Wilsons every single time.
that actually does make sense. There's actually a motive there for that, and it's like, why do you think that people whose careers depended on Charlie Kirk being alive wanted him dead? That's the dumbest shit ever. Like, if anything, the last 8 or 9 months have proved that TPUSA without Charlie Kirk, they're having a rough time. Okay, so to just baselessly assert they must be behind it, or they must have been in on it, or they helped cover it up, it's like that doesn't even make sense. On top of that, everything I've seen that has been now, I don't autistically go into every single stupid little thing like Uncle Tom wants me to look at we have a leaked photo of the SUV. First of all, do you? Because every time I check into it, you're full of shit. Every time I double check whatever your sources are, you either can't find them, you don't remember, or if you do give me the original, I look it up and go, that's a fake, or that was debunked, or that's not real, that's not true, you got it wrong every single time with this guy. It's been every time. So I'm just like, no, I'm never gonna just take anything you say at face value and believe it ever again. That's what I was talking about with discrediting yourself.
And
Did you have anything else for me?
Yeah, it's like I totally understand like people that like they try to dig into Erica Kirk's past and they say, oh, she said Charlie was like her first love, and no, turns out they find out that she was dating some other guy on some reality TV show, and it's like, okay, that still doesn't prove that she killed her own husband, you retard.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with the people who were trying to convince me she doesn't actually have blue eyes. I was like, first of all, she does. I've seen her very up close.
Even if she didn't.
She does. But if she didn't, what does that fucking prove? And they're like, it just proves that she's a liar. And I'm like, get the fuck out of, just get away from me. Like, I'm allergic to that kind of stupidity. It's like if people cannot think. They can't properly categorize things. That's why, like,
So when Josie gets done with her rant here and calling me names and all that, I've got a special clip to play for you guys. So thanks for sticking around. I appreciate everybody who's stuck around. In lieu of this canceled debate between Andrew Wilson and Owen Schroyer, I got to figure out when they're going to do that again, and I will definitely stream that. So thank you guys.
I don't even have to be that good to be the best female debater that's out there, because there's just a huge epidemic of people who don't know how to think and can't properly categorize things, can't think through logical fallacies, can't figure out what contradictions or inconsistencies are. Like, just the basics of logic don't apply. It's like people, you'd be surprised how bad people are at it. And so
it's freaking incredible. But anyways, I've got like sirloin that is waiting to be flipped. So I will go in peace. God bless you. And fuck people who talk shit about you. Honestly, I hate them. Okay, bye.
Josie.
Okay, so I wasn't talking shit about Rachel at all. So I don't know where that came from, Josie, but you are a piece of work, Josie. So I've got to play something for you guys because I did get to meet up with Josie again. I got to meet up with Josie in this space here. So, and after that space, Andrew and I did a debate after that, or we had a space. I can't remember what it was. I think a couple of people were debating. I jumped in here and there, but it happened to be Josie popped in and wanted a microphone, of course. So, this again was after she talked all that shit about me with Rachel, like essentially behind my back because I wasn't there to defend myself. She made accusations that I talked shit about the Wilsons. I was in spaces talking shit about them. I was in 10-person spaces, so she's trying to shame me because I guess I didn't have enough of an audience in some of my spaces that I've done over the years or whatever. Well, she can't say that anymore because my spaces are pretty big every time I do them. But yeah, she tried to shame me and talk a lot. So I'm going to play my reaction.
Would like to get to you. Josie, I got you up on stage just to tell you that you shouldn't lie about men. So this is a learning lesson for you. You lied about me, about
No, did I
my
lie
treatment
about
of the
you?
Wilsons. You said that I talk about them, and you just made up all this bullshit to probably try to get closer to them.
No,
So I
I
need to
didn't make
tell
it. I didn't make
Myron. I
anything.
need to tell Myron to control his bitches because I don't know what the fuck that was that you were trying to do the other night, but it's retarded. You're trying to say that, oh, we come into your 10-person spaces. Is this why are you coming into the spaces then? Is this a 10-person space? Yeah, that's what I thought, Josie. So stop lying about men. You claim to be like, you claim to not be a feminist, but you're trying to Me Too me. Like, stop. That's not.
You're doing that because you know you're full of shit. Just
Okay,
saying.
sure.
Okay?
Where's your evidence?
Right here.
Okay, sure. Tell me where I talk shit about the Wilsons, please. Because it doesn't exist.
I don't know, every time you're having a conversation, you're always quote unquote playing some devil's advocate. I didn't say you claim
It's recorded,
that
ma'am.
you were yeah, exactly. It's recorded. Do you want to pull it up?
Yes, I
I
can
think
pull
you
it
can
up. I
vindicate.
will.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
Okay. But go while I'm pulling it up, go ahead and say whatever it is you're gonna say. I like hopefully you have some kind of proof that I talk shit about the Wilsons. So let me just to,
Well,
so
you know
just
what
so
you
just so
did,
we're
but
correct, just so we're on the same page. Feminists hate me because I talk shit about feminists, but I also talk shit about people counter to feminism. Okay, so tell me how this makes sense. And tell me how I did that. Hear it.
I just hate stupid, stupid.
Okay,
You know,
so
I
can you
hate stupid people in general.
substantiate? Are you just gonna Me Too me? Basically, you're just Me Tooing me.
What do you mean, me too? Me too, you? What are you talking about?
You just want
Me too, you.
attention.
Like,
You're
there's
just a
no.
woman that wants attention. You know nothing
Oh my
about
god, you're
this
making
case.
shit up. It's fucking incredible.
Okay,
Okay,
so
here's where we're going with this. Every single time. Okay,
I'm
claim.
listening. I'm listening.
Hold on. You claim that you've always been so supportive of the Wilson. That's not true. We both know that's not true.
Yeah, but where's your evidence for this? When
I
have I
don't
not
need
been
any
supportive?
evidence, dear. I mean, don't believe me if you don't want to. Who gives a shit?
Okay, Andrew.
Oh no, he gave
What are
a
we
shit.
doing
He
here?
fought for you to come up stage. Yeah, he fought very hard for
I
you to come
mean,
up
clearly
stage.
you're doing spaces about him, like literally about him. At this point, why does it even matter?
Okay.
I thought that was
the
set
allegation was
straight.
against Tom. What is it?
That was a good commercial break. Come on, man. Let's carry on.
I thought the record was set pretty straight here.
What is it?
Okay, I
Well,
have the
obviously you had
recording.
a point of
So
contention. Obviously, that you had a point of contention with the Wilson, which led to multiple spaces and debates, which are available on YouTube to watch. Clearly, you guys had some disagreements before, but just don't sit here and say you've been very supportive of the Wilson all along. Like, it's been for a minute that you've had disagreements with them.
I've never
Just
said
don't
it.
be full of
Who
shit.
is the Wilson?
Where are
Is
the
that Andrew?
allegations?
Yeah.
So I just want to point this out to you, Josie, so that you know. Tom has actually been fan of mine for a long time. Maybe he wouldn't admit that he's a fan, but we've talked for months behind the scenes and argued various things back and forth. I'm not sure that I would consider him a friend, but I would definitely consider him friendly and willing to engage with me. I know that he disagrees with me, but I haven't actually seen him out talking tons of shit about me. I'm just saying, I haven't actually seen that.
Yeah, because it doesn't exist. Yeah, and I have been a fan. So I think you read too much into it, Josie. I'll let it slide. I still think Myron needs to control his bitches. So
I'm not Myron's bitch,
yeah,
so I don't know why you
yeah,
need to bring it there.
but here we go.
I know what I said.
Well, why'd you say
I
play
know
it?
what I said. You don't need no. You don't need to play this. I said
No,
what I
no,
said, which
he
will
needs to
this will
play it.
invalidate it.
He needs to play it.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, Uncle Tom, I'm sorry. You're literally retarded. Okay, that's number one. Number two, like you go put when you go quote somebody, like I'm sorry, I don't recall Myron ever saying that he believed that Tyler Robinson isn't the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. He did say that there were inconsistencies with the 30 out 6 narrative, but that he wanted to wait until the trial because that's just the smart thing to do, and I 100% agree with him. So I think if you want to pick on something controversial with Myron, there's plenty of topics to pick from. But this one ain't it, bro. Okay? So stop being a retard. Okay? Understand that you probably get more views than you normally get when you talk about that stuff because people are retarded. Okay? But this ain't it. Don't be bullshitting that you were always supporting Andrew and Rachel, okay? Like every single time I would like find in one of your like 10 people's face, you were like talking shit. So please, yeah.
Okay, so that was a lie.
Yeah.
You just lied. So you straight up lied. You're trying to Me Too me, and it's for
What do you mean by me tooing
attention.
you? Me too you. Like explain that one because
hang
I'm
on,
sorry, I
hang on.
never
He's
made a
got-
me too allegation.
Look, he's got a point. You came into the space and said, I don't even know who you are, but you do know who he is. And you said that you've been in a bunch of his various spaces, and inside of those
Here and
spaces,
there,
hang on.
but-
And inside those spaces, he's been talking shit about the Wilsons. And now the rubber meets the road where the proof of the allegation is on the line and he's requesting it. And I think that that's completely appropriate for him to do, Josie, to be perfectly frank with you.
Okay, maybe I was speaking hyperbole, or how do you say that? A metaphor of exaggeration, perhaps. However,
Bullshit.
however,
AKA
can I
lies and
finish my point?
bullshit.
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my
AKA
point?
lies and bullshit.
Can I?
So yeah, that happened, guys. Apparently, it was metaphorically. So yeah, this is what I deal with, guys. This is what I deal with. Yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I will pop over to X right now before I let you guys go. I'll see if there's anything interesting there. And if there is, I'll hang around. If there is not, I will not.
Would like to get to you.
Hold on a second.
Josie, I
Sorry
got you
about
up
that.
on stage.
If you guys find something interesting, you can let me know. This might be. Hold on. Feel free to buy me an MRE as well, guys. I appreciate it. This has been going viral. This is a space that I did. Let's see. This has been going really viral. Ian Malcolm a few hours ago went ahead and shared this. It's got 115 likes. So I'll just go ahead and play it.
So I'm going to pull up the message line.
So
He
that's
didn't
just the
leave the
most.
pro-Israel cause. You're just lying.
That was actually quote unquote what he said. He said,
That's quote
leaving
unquote
me no
not what he
choice.
said.
He said, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel
No, read the
cause,
whole thing.
unquote.
Read the whole thing. You lying,
I-
feckless weasel.
Okay, so
All
I
right.
got you. So I cannot and will not be bullied like this.
Ah, I see. By certain donors who want
Jewish donors fit all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
That's not what he
So
said either.
that
You're lying again. So I'm going to pull up the messages just to
Yeah,
blow this
knock
lie out.
knock
again.
yourself out. Knock yourself out.
So let's go with the Charlie Kirk messages leaving pro-Israel.
He's going to
cause.
Grok.
No, I'm not doing Grok. Relax. And I would tell you if I was. And by the way, I think that it
What I
ought
don't
to be-
understand
Stop. Let me respond to the claims first.
Yeah, so nobody unmute, please. It's just Travis and Andrew right now. Please, nobody mute. You don't need to put your hand up either. I see you. I know who's in the space.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that Grok is useful for pulling information. I think it's cheating if you use Grok to form arguments.
You could just pull the
I have no idea why anybody
could just pull the
would
text
even have an
itself.
issue with that. That's what I'm trying to do, is just make sure that I'm pulling the text so that you actually read them correctly, and I can too. So here's what I actually said. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Please don't invite Candace. That might feel good short term. So this was over donors. They're playing chicken with donors. Please.
Well,
If Candace is live, yeah, I'll stick around for Candace. I will. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that'll be more interesting. I can play this other thing another day. Let me find Candace real quick. Thanks for letting me know she's live. I didn't know I was going to be streaming this long today, so I don't mind playing. Okay, so she's not live yet. So probably soon though. It says starting soon.
please don't invite Candace with somebody else's words.
that might feel
I wanted to
good.
focus in on the
you need
leaving me no
context.
choice but to leave the pro-Israel
You need
cause.
context here. You please don't invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not in the long term, in my opinion. Like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed upon us that makes life frustrating at all times. So Charlie's venting right now because donors are telling him who he can and can't platform, right? He's pissed off about it. So he's using well, I'll just leave the pro-Israel cause if it's the case that these donors are going to try to bully me into this. By the way, this isn't the first time that he's played this game of chicken with donors. That's how that game is played, by the way, by all NGOs, not just TPUSA.
So do you think it's a complete coincidence that he said, quote unquote, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause, and was dead 22 hours and 29
there's no
minutes
evidence
later?
to support that has any play whatsoever in his murder.
So that's just the most unfortunate timing coincidence in
Even
the
in
history of the
unfortunate
world.
timing, he's made statements like that plenty of times in other messages. What are you talking about? That he had problem with Jewish donors trying to police who he could platform. There isn't even a coincidence here. You're just making shit up again.
But he had never left the pro-Israel
He
cause.
still didn't leave the pro-Israel cause. Did you think he left it in 22 hours?
According to Charlie's words,
No,
he did.
He didn't leave the pro-Israel cause. He said, if it's the case that donors are going to try to bully me, then I will leave the cause. He didn't leave it.
Well, he had already lost the donor money, so I'm not sure your sequence
They
of
lost
events is
donor
correct
money
there.
from who?
Robert
But
Shillman.
then why would he need to worry about leaving the pro-Israel cause, bro?
I'd assume that's probably why he said it.
But wait a second, I'm confused. So he had already lost the money? So then
Correct.
He
He
wasn't
had already
killed
lost the $2 million.
then He wasn't killed within 22 hours of this thing happening then?
He was also against
No,
what
he
was
was-
happening in Gaza.
Well, hold
He-
on,
he
Ali. We can't.
Sorry,
Dog
there
pot.
was a whole
Dog pot.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't just
No,
that.
just say
But
that
yes,
you
he
got
was
shot.
dead 22 hours and 29 minutes later after he left the pro-Israel cause.
No. You're saying
Stated.
that the pro-Israel cause left him. before that because he had issues with them over platforming.
That's
That's it.
fine.
Correct. And then he said, I cannot and will not be
Yeah,
bullied
great.
like this, leaving me no
Makes-
choice but to leave the
Makes
bros row
sense to
cause.
me.
He was then dead 22 hours
Yeah,
later.
so that means what? What does that mean?
That we
Tie it
need to
together.
investigate it. We need to investigate
Oh,
that.
great.
And
We're
wasn't
gonna-
Joe Kent trying to do that?
No.
Okay, that clips over. Candace hasn't gone live yet, so as soon as she does, I will go over there. I still got some energy left, so I will hang out with you to watch Candace. Let's see, but she is not live yet.
This stuff, you're going to see. You can go to any library in the United States of America, and I'll guarantee you what is on the very front table when you walk into that library. You guys all know what I'm going to say. You're going to see like anti-racist baby. You're going to see some BLM stuff.
Tuesday. Brigitte, would you like to tell them, or should I? Actually, it's my show. I'm going to tell them. So yesterday, we received a tip on our tip line regarding my insistence that the person who wrote those Tyler Robinson text messages was not a native English speaker. You recall I was basically describing how sometimes words just don't transfer over. And if you don't speak the native language, you might miss that. The obvious and most stunning example of that in the Fed slop messages being, I hope that Pooch has a bad sniffer. A bad sniffer, a pooch, a sniffer. Who is using Google Translate and from where? Well, here's what someone said to me via email. They wrote, Dear Candace, in French, we say chien renifleur, which translates as sniffer dog. I have a feeling this text is being translated from French. Thanks for your great work. Guys, obviously it's French. Pooch, pooch. French people always make things sound a little bit more pretentious. And I looked it up, and sure enough, the way that they describe a canine, a detective dog, would be a renifleur, which literally translates into a sniffer pooch. It's like the most unbelievable thing. I'm deeply upset by this. I promise you, Brigitte, you're still missing those days of the Egyptian planes were in America. We still cannot track Brigitte. If I find out Brigitte authored those messages, there was going to be hell to pay. Anyway, moving on from that, we named this episode Silence of the Lance because I came across some very interesting information about him and an interesting tidbit that the 4K influencers, the HD courtroom influencers, actually didn't share with the public about what they saw. That's interesting. Welcome back to Candace.
Buy me an MRE and we will get any Fed sloppers out of here. Tell me which ones to boot.
Okay, so first things first, it has come to my attention that an individual who I had literally never heard of in my life went onto Joe Rogan signaling that I am scared to debate him regarding the Charlie Kirk case and that he's offered me $300K to do so. So just, the backstory leading up to this moment is that the host of the Whatever podcast, who I do know, a guy named Brian Atlas, reached out to my PR guy, Mitchell, with an offer of $50K for me to debate this person. And then he upped the amount, I think, to $150K initially. I immediately dismissed it. I genuinely had never heard of the name Andrew Wilson before. And my assumption was that this was a PR ploy, a move for some young influencer that was coming up through the ranks and had a little bit of money to spend to get their name out there. It's almost like, and people do this, you try to buy an ad for yourself. It's an industry strategy to get your name out there. Of course, the Charlie Kirk case was not some gimmick to me. We have not been asking for money, just a public discussion with Turning Point USA, one of their affiliates regarding the case, whether that be Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, Yankin Bank Frank, somebody who was there on the scene that day. We've offered them the floor repeatedly. Now, what I had not appreciated until people began sending me clips of this Andrew Wilson guy following his sit down on Joe Rogan is that he is sort of affiliated with Turning Point USA, another person in their orbit that they're boosting, so much so that he's apparently hugging Erica Kirk at Turning Point USA headquarters. I will let you take a listen to what he told Joe Rogan during their sit down. Take a listen.
We offered Candace Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate. I was like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the $1 million question. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk comes out and tells me to stop the conspiracy on this, I will. So Erica did. She went out publicly and she was like, enough. You're just causing more problems than good here as this investigation's going on. And then suddenly Erica's now part of the conspiracy. By the next day, she's trying to cover it up. She's part of the conspiracy too. When I went to the TPUSA HQ and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there, the first thing I did was what I think every normal, moral human being would ever do. I gave her a hug. And I told her how god-awful sorry I was that happened to her. Like, could you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of murdering and conspiring to murder and then cover up what happened to her own. I mean, that's like mind-boggling psychological torture on a level that I've never seen.
Yeah, and hindsight is 20/20, but given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better for her to like lay low for a little while.
1000%.
The going out with the sparklers was not a great idea. Like all that was not a great idea because it just seemed insane.
Thank you, Joe Rogan, for saying that. People were going, yeah, okay. Now I'm interested because first off, I wasn't expecting Andrew Wilson to look like that. I understand, I guess, perhaps could probably guess how you magically fell into money to be running around offering $300K for a conversation. And I also now understand, having looked into it, why Blake Neff and Andrew Colbat seem to be boosting you on X. Now, for everyone who was like me and legitimately did not know who this man was 5 minutes ago, Andrew Wilson apparently had a presence in the manosphere debating feminists. And that would explain why he was appearing on the Whatever podcast, which regularly features these sorts of debates. I've been on the Whatever podcast and I've done these debates. So is Charlie Kirk. But now, of course, for either the right price or chance at staying or being in the limelight, he's willing to sort of flip his position and kind of present himself as a feminist right there, tasked with defending Erica Kirk, taking over her late husband's company, a $250 million organization, while the kids are back home with no parents as she travels the country. Now, he's sympathetic to those positions. Now, Andrew Wilson looks to be about 50 years old. That's the best that I could do in terms of finding his age. Another point that I really was surprised by, because again, I thought this was like someone younger coming through the ranks. Worry not, though, because when he debates, he's always drinking a beer. So he wants you to know he's cool. His ex-profile pic is of him smoking a cig, because that's like 50-year-old man doing this is crazy. That's his brand or something. He's like Timu Danny Zuko from Greece, but with a potty mouth, to be sure. Greece was a clean movie, born to hand jive. I actually really liked it. He chain smokes throughout debates and he denigrates people so that people know just how like fresh to death he is. I really shudder at this prospect. Well, here's my counteroffer. Now that I know that Turning Point's in the orbit, right? Andrew Wilson currently trending on X, by the way, for having lied to Joe Rogan throughout this entire interview. This obviously backfired. The comments are amazing, making fun of him and nobody buying the Erica Kirk slop, the Christian slop, trying to emote to make us feel like anything that's happened since Charlie Kirk's assassination makes sense, or that we should feel bad for caring and investigating. But anyway, he's trending because he similarly in this discussion with Joe Rogan lied in relation not just to me, but tried to like pretend that I'm somehow tangential to the leftist Un-F America tour. I've never so much as spoken to them, but then he also lied about them. He's accusing them of like laundering money and doing this on Joe Rogan's platform, absent any fact check. He just lies. I guess that's where they're at right now. Turning Point just needs people that are willing to lie. Nonetheless, like I said, I have a counter offer. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right? I just have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just, you don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean, not with that smoking habit in today's economy, right? And given the fact that Turning Point USA has raised $40 million in one night off of Charlie's blood, literally encasing his bloody microphone at a fundraiser event so that his grieving widow could be captured by the camera standing next to it, I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you. You're their guy. Tell them that's what it costs. What's 500K between old friends, right? Also, my second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant. So if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates. Don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want. Like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? So you're just going to have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home. And this is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Okay? No worming away after the fact. They don't get to be, oh, we don't really know this guy, whatever. They're boosting you. You're at the headquarters teaching people how to debate. I got to tell you, from the outside, it kind of looks like Turning Point USA scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for influencers. And they've now arrived at people who are just amoral, who will lie about what people have said and intentionally misrepresent their positions, and who I would say are not reminiscent of the honest debate strategy style that was once employed by their company founder. I mean, Charlie was clean and respectable. Here is Andrew Wilson, who, I'm not kidding, Turning Point USA says they welcomed him to teach others how to debate. Here's him debating a feminist leftist. Her name also happens to be Charlie. Take a listen.
Well, I'll try to rephrase this. I'm going to reframe, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator or I don't make good points or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think, honestly, you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
So, Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
And you
you
lick sniz.
Under your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're a dyke. Don't talk about my wife, you stupid bitch. Shut your mouth.
Oh,
Shut your
my
bitch mouth.
goodness.
Your wife with the 3 baby.
What did I just say?
Your wife with the
Sorry, dyke. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
Do the men that you try to?
Do the women that you try to?
Your
Do the women that you try to?
That they shouldn't.
You know, Charlie, did I bring?
Women, do they know
Charlie,
that
did I bring
wife
your
is 5
family?
years older?
Did I bring any of your family into?
Stupid.
Did I say anything about your family being stupid, Charlie? It's because I'm better than you, Charlie.
No, it's because you're embarrassed, and you know that the traditional values that you try to sell people on are bullshit. Because you are not a traditional man.
Chuck, let's go through it.
You are not a traditional.
Let's go through it, Chuck. Tell me what I'm doing, which is immoral.
You probably should have bleeped out a little bit more in that clip. I don't even know what some of those words mean, but that's him in a nutshell.
Oh boy.
Just kind of curses and smokes cigarettes and tries to denigrate people. And again, just to give you guys the proof here, Andrew Colvett claims they did pay him, but only to come and teach their students how to debate. Here's his tweet. He wrote, "Nope, he was paid for 1 day of the debate training for our students and campus debate team. He's not, quote unquote, being paid, but seeing how much they seem to hate that idea, maybe we should see if we can work something out. LOL. Oh, LOL. Great. I think we should
Sorry,
work something
guys.
out."
I didn't do commentary because I wanted you to
Blake
hear
Neff sharing
this.
clips of him on the Joe Rogan show. does a great job on Joe Rogan dissecting several of the conspiracy theories around Charlie's death and answering Rogan's questions about them. Worth the watch. Okay. So yeah, that's my counteroffer. I want Turning Point USA on record, just to recap, saying that you are representing them in this debate. You know, that they're not going to shirk responsibility and pretend like, oh, we just paid a one time. Yeah, he's going in there, and we want him to debate on our behalf. You will also have to come to me to another point 2A. Obviously, you will not be chain smoking around me, and $500K because they can afford it. We'll leave it at that. Those are my counter terms. Now, back to what I actually think about this case. It's just always going to be a running joke. Candace never has any evidence. I just find that to be amazing. It's just no one has presented more evidence. Not even the prosecution has presented more evidence than the Candace show. But we'll just keep doing what we do. Now, I have been very clear from the beginning that on the basis of evidence presented, I do not believe that Charlie Kirk was killed by a lone gunman. I do not believe that any weapon was fired from Low C rooftop. I find the most compelling theory on the basis of what I observe with my eyes, the odd trajectory of his shirt, which is the first to move. It moves upward and across his chest. The immediate breaking of his necklace before Charlie is impacted and moves upward. The frankly unacceptable idea that Charlie got hit from the front with 2,000 pounds of force, but miraculously didn't go backwards. He didn't fall backwards. No, he just went up and then to the side. And then Dan Flood continues him, pushes him over to the side in that same motion. 2,000 pounds of force. Okay. The double miracle, by the way, because also that not only did that force not hit him of that 30-06 bullet, didn't throw him backwards, but that bullet also didn't even go through. It didn't almost decapitate him, which is what would have been expected. It was just this little perfect wound on the side of his neck. Then there are the black shards all over the floor of the SUV, which transported him to the hospital, followed by the FBI's unusual rush to have that SUV immediately cleaned and resold. No interest in holding that in evidence, which is typical. Also, the mysteriously purged 911 call where someone is allegedly heard saying, "Get that off of him." I routinely and intentionally disobey that Orwellian instruction, as George Orwell authored in his dystopian novel, which is becoming our reality, 1984, quote, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Their final, most essential command is to tell the public, reject the..."
Yeah, that's a good pause point right there for, she's quoting 1984, George Orwell. But yeah, somebody asked me, hey, what are my thoughts? Man, there's so many things running through my head watching all that. Like, because I covered Andrew Wilson on Joe Rogan yesterday. You guys can find that in my live stream. I covered that. Had an explosives. I want to say explosive expert. Lack of better term, explosive expert. He's familiar with explosives and how to protect the body against explosives. He did body armor. But anyway, he's just very knowledgeable about explosive. John Bray, who Candace has also covered on her show. So you guys can check that out. But I mean, I don't know how to react to that. She said a lot there. Andrew, based on what she said, Andrew's going to say, hey, she really doesn't want to debate because TPUSA is not going to come out and vouch for me. He may not be able to get the additional 200,000. People may put in. People want to see it happen. Maybe TPUSA will, but who knows? I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, she did a counter offer. She didn't completely run from it. Not that she runs from anything, but just in general, it's I don't know. There's a lot. She said a lot. I wasn't even expecting her to talk about Andrew today, but pretty interesting.
Evidence of your eyes and ears. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to disobey the party command. No matter how many influencers try to tell us that our eyes and our ears are being overwhelmed, I still feel pretty underwhelmed. Okay. As an example of this instruction routinely playing out, we have covered Benny Johnson, one of the courtroom influencers who Erica personally invited to attend the preliminary hearing.
So real quick, oh yeah, Fed Sloppers. There's a lot of Fed Sloppers in the chat. If you want to remove Fed Sloppers from the chat, go ahead and just buy me an MRE for my bunker. Thank you. And then you can just pick, I'll read your message on air, of course, and you can pick which Fed Slopper you want removed from the chat.
He said this on his show yesterday.
Like, say what you will about Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson. Like, we have Tyler Robinson's text messages. We have interviews with Tyler Robinson members. I know there's a lot of them. I know blood rose very hot on that issue. It does for me too. But we have so much evidence. It's demonstrable and empirical. You can see it. It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed through the devices. It's been published, and they have so much more. You've seen maybe like 1% or 2% of the evidence that's actually physically available.
We did not see this. We've not seen anything from his parents. We have not seen, we keep being told that we see it. We keep being told that it's there. It wasn't even so much as mentioned in the preliminary hearing. What are we talking about? Empirical evidence. It's demonstrable. It's overwhelming. Well, I'll tell you what is actually empirical and is interesting. And interestingly enough, it's something that the influencers left out about the 4K footage that they were shown. I've made it clear that I believe the person who is walking up the stairs in the maroon shirt is not Tyler Robinson. The person who was captured on TMZ's cameras in the maroon shirt is not Tyler Robinson. I still believe what I reported back in October of last year, which is that Tyler Robinson never stepped foot onto UVU campus. Okay, that claim has not been debunked. Now, although, as I said back then, I learned that he was around campus on that day. I don't know if that means he was driving people around. It's certainly plausible, but I don't think he was either person who walked up the staircase on that day. And I believe those are two different people that we're seeing. The maroon, and then later in the day in the black, I think those are two different individuals. And to that point, by the way, of interest is that the UVU students have confirmed to me that there are no cameras outside of the parking garage. There's absolutely no reason for him to walk up through the parking garage. If you look at the layout, it's almost as if the people wanted to be captured by the cameras. If he had just, everybody knows if you go into a parking garage, there's going to be cameras. If he had just walked outside of the garage and went around, there would have been no way for the cameras to capture him. I'm going to show you that on the map here, okay? The map of the actual route that he took there is he just decided to go through this parking garage. Decided to go through the parking garage. Here's the route he could have taken with the same effect, just stayed on the street, never would have been captured. Again, it makes entirely no sense outside of wanting the cameras to see him. Anyway, what I can say emphatically is that if there is overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson did this crime, if they're sticking to that, if it's just so overwhelming that he did this crime, then we can state that there is objectively more overwhelming evidence that Lance Twiggs did this crime, okay? Because Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the towel. Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the rifle. And to be clear, Lance Twiggs' DNA was not as degraded as Tyler Robinson's DNA was on Tyler's rifle. It's Tyler's rifle, but Lance's DNA is more prominent. How does that happen? What is Lance doing with the gun? Did Lance go hunting with his gun or something? We learned that the Dremel that was used to carve the bullets belonged to Lance Twiggs. So if there's overwhelming evidence for one, there's more overwhelming evidence for Lance Twiggs. That's what I would assert, right? And when we did background checks and we spoke to people's family members, we learned and spoke to people's schoolmates, we learned that Tyler is described as a quiet kid, a kind kid. Lance is described in opposite terms. He dealt with a multitude of anger and behavioral issues in his youth, so much so that he had to be removed from his home multiple times, living with other family members, living with other people. I mean, like meant to go live with other relatives who in the end also kicked him out of their home as well because of his behavioral issues. When your own family members are describing you as into dark internet stuff, saying that you've had drug overdoses, allegedly, this is the kind of stuff that, in my opinion, might get you caught up with the feds. And while it's not considered LGBTQ, one of the big narratives that has been pushed around.
All right, some folks have left probably to go watch Candace on their own, which is cool. I'm gonna keep the stream open a little while longer. If I get some donations, I will. I'll stay another hour or so. So if not, I will probably shut it down. But I'm gonna keep playing. It is pinned in the chat to buy me an MRE. Thank you guys. Like and sub. Really appreciate it. A good stream today. I'd like to stay with you if you want me to.
Around here, absent any proof, Lance is the one that was submerged in the furry culture. Remember, he had a fursona named Luna, which is an avatar for your personality. We should discuss that more, right? Lance's fursona named Luna. It's actually a character spelled Loona. I had received this email about Luna. The person wrote, "Dear Candace, quote, I wanted to share some context about a character named Luna from the animated series Hell of a Boss. Luna is a very popular character among members of the furry fandom. She is an anthropomorphic hellhound who normally has a wolf-like appearance, but she is also able to disguise herself in a human form and switch back to her hellhound form. A significant part of her character revolves around her difficulty connecting with other people. She is often portrayed as guarded, socially awkward, and emotionally withdrawn. She has trouble making friends, tends to isolate herself, often hides her insecurity behind sarcasm, anger, or an unfriendly attitude. Over the course of the series, some of her storyline explores her relationships with others, her fear of rejection, and her difficulty expressing affection or allowing herself to become emotionally close to people. Because of both her wolf-like design and her personality, Luna has become especially recognizable and popular within the furry fandom and online animation communities. She appears frequently in fan art, cosplay, memes, and other fan-created content." So this was interesting to me because I, a long time ago, very long time ago, back in October, told you that, among other things that I learned about the Robinson family, of course, this whole lie that Matt Robinson believed his son was guilty. Matt Robinson, when he went back to the apartment that Tyler Robinson shared with Lance, discovered that a bed that was not in his son's room, a dog bed, was put into his son's room. His suspicion was that the feds had staged that room. Well, if you're telling me that it's Lance that has a fursona that happens to be a hellhound, it would make more sense that this would be Lance's bed, Lance's big dog bed, that Lance was embodying this fursona. And when we looked further into Luna and this hellhound demon dog, that's literally what it is, a demon dog, we learned that the demon dog wears a pentagram as a necklace. And the series premise in and of itself is sort of amazing. This is what it says on Wikipedia. Okay. The series follows the employees of IMP, Immediate Murder Professionals, and an assassination company in hell that offers hitman services in the realm of the living on their many different jobs. That's just incredible. That is just incredible, especially when you weigh that against the fact that you have people like the medical examiner's wife who is encouraging people online and on Discord to further lean into these avatars, to accept them as a sort of like dissociative character in their life. This can be separate, it can be sexual, it can be whatever. I find the premise of Luna to be compelling. Lance Twiggs, why wasn't Lance Twiggs arrested, actually? Lance Twiggs' alibi, just to remind you, for September 10th is, I was sleeping. Has anyone prodded that narrative? Did the feds prod that narrative? Have they confirmed that he was just, sleeping through the biggest assassination since JFK? That feels like something you could confirm. You could check maybe some cameras, Gamma request some cameras to see if he was moving around that day, see if his phone had activity. That's pretty easy. Isn't it at least feasible that he wasn't? Plausible that he wasn't? Is it not possible that the note that was handwritten, which Lance claims he found under his keyboard and then took a picture of it, but then burned the note to hide the evidence? I'm sorry, what? You burned the note to hide the evidence after taking a picture of it, which does not hide the evidence? Is it possible that Lance just wrote the note and burned it because we were not going to find Tyler Robinson's fingerprints on that note? Then there's this, okay? Like I said, I've been convinced since the very beginning that those are two separate people that emerge on campus in the stairwell, one wearing a maroon shirt, the other one in a black shirt at a later point. Now, this is by no means a perfect science, but the person in the maroon shirt appears to be left-handed, or at least exceedingly ambidextrous, because when he is walking down the steps, what the influencers were shown in 4K is actually he's on his phone, and he seems to be either completing a message, maybe just marking time, who knows, but he's holding his phone in his left hand before he slips his phone into his left pocket. So I want you to watch that here. In the footage that we saw, it was very blurry, and I'm going to show you that blurry footage, but that is what I am telling you. It is a phone that he is holding and slipping into his pocket. You can play this. Okay. That's a phone. Okay. And then he slips that phone into his pocket. That's what they were shown in 4K. And they didn't mention that. Might be relevant. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe their brain didn't realize, oh, wait, that's left-handed. Now, I don't know people who are right-handed who text or deal with their left hand or use their left pocket at all. These are things that you don't think about because it's like second nature to you. Now, Tyler Robinson is definitively not left-handed. It is actually spelled out in his legal filings, but if you conduct your own investigation into all of the many social media photos that are posted by his mother onto Facebook from a time he was all through his young adulthood, he's dead. To the contrary of interest, he thought, let's check and see about Lance. It's the exact opposite. Across various public photos of Lance, he appears to be left-handed, or at least without question, ambidextrous. We can go through some of the strong evidence of that. This is Lance on a snowboard. Now, sometimes people learn to do it on the opposite leg, but we can show you this clip. You will see that when he falls, he even falls onto his left hand. Okay? When you're catching yourself, you're going to go dominant on the right side. Recently, he was photographed down in Texas pumping gas. He is pumping with his left hand.
And you want to say this woman's not an investigator? This is pretty interesting. She started off by saying, "Hey, this is not evidence or necessarily convincing, but it is interesting."
There's also selfie photos of him on the internet. He is taking the selfies with his left hand. And most compelling is this video of Lance as a child playing the piano. Now, you're going to note before we hit play on this video that his watch is affixed to his right hand. Now, the proper way that you wear a watch is to fix the watch to the opposite of your dominant hand. The reason for that is because you use it less. So you're trying to keep it so you're not scraping and writing. And so that's why I always wear my watch on my left hand. He has his watch on his right hand, but you're also going to see when he plays, he's going to turn the page with his left hand. Take a look at this.
My name is Lance Twiggs. I am playing country concerto for young pianists, and I like piano because it gives me something other than playing video games to do with my fingers.
Left. To get started, that's left hand dominance, perhaps ambidextrous. I find that to be very interesting. That little phone pocket thing, which the feds wanted to blur so the public couldn't see that. It's his phone. He's on his phone and he puts it into his left pocket. And isn't it just interesting that the feds instantly felt that when they met with Lance, it wasn't like, no, he's not an accomplice. There's no way. They didn't even cross their minds. In fact, what they decided to do after they questioned Lance for a few hours is they offered him a ride back home. That's a fact. He was then dropped off by police at his parents' residence. The feds then moved him and his father into a safe house. The feds paid for them to live somewhere unknown to the general public. All of that just strikes me as remarkably odd. That's just, this person would have access to everything that was Tyler Robinson's. I'd love to know exactly how his hair was styled when all of this went down. Now, just some things that you should know that I'm happy to share with you as we start moving in on this and considering this plausibility is that Lance moved in to that apartment, which is owned by his family, in July of 2022. He initially found two roommates that were brothers. Their names were Caleb and Bradley. One of them was in the military. That's Bradley. Caleb left a year later. And in 2023, Tyler Robinson took Caleb's place.
No, I'm sorry, Gravity. We can't watch anything else. I've done a poll before about everybody who likes to watch Candace. So today's been exceptionally good anyways. Showing her true investigator, her and her team's investigative status. They did a good job there. I like that. I'm going to stay live for another 10 minutes or so. I will stay longer, an additional hour if you guys get some donations in here. Appreciate it. Buy me an MRE. Link is in the chat. But no, we're not going to watch anything else. We're going to keep watching Candace.
So in August of 2023, Tyler Robinson begins living there. So it was just Bradley, the military guy, Lance, and Tyler Robinson living as roommates until November of 2024. So at the end of 2024, Bradley, the military guy, moved out, citing a military obligation. This left just Tyler and Lance living in that apartment alone at the beginning of 2025. Those are just some more facts that I would like to just introduce into the public domain that could be of interest. So yeah, that is my position. These are the things that I am looking into. I have always suspected, and even more so after the preliminary hearing, that Lance could have been a federal asset who got mixed up in something in his online communities. Allegedly, that's my perspective. I think while it's still legal, we'll be right back after a break. All right, you guys, do you feel like you're working harder than ever, but still falling behind every month between grocery prices, bills, and credit card debt growing? Let's go to the horrible straight. And then when you wonder if we're going to get any tax refund, no, we don't have any money. We look at our prices around here. Nothing is getting better. And people are rightfully upset about that. So obviously the issue is that he mentioned the foreign wars, and the neocons instantly had to get to work and explain this is not true. And actually their argument is that people just need to focus on making home-cooked meals. They need to stop eating out and recognize that you're just spoiled. If you are a person who thinks that their things are not affordable, it's because you're spoiled. We need our wars, but you're spoiled. Joel Berry, who I don't even know what this guy did or ever did for the Babylon Bee, he writes this. He writes, "Last night, my wife made homemade burritos for our family of 8, and it cost less than $20 total for everyone. I'm beginning to think the affordability crisis is really an I don't know how to cook crisis." Like, I don't believe anything he's saying there. I cook, and I am amazed at how much like chicken is costing at the grocery store. I'm making rice. I'm not like, getting out there and buying something that's super duper expensive. Yes, I do. I will say on the beef, I always support at the farmer's market, which is, I'm obviously paying more because I want to support farmers. But I've noticed that things have gotten incrementally more expensive, and I should be able to support farmers. I should be able to do that, go to the farmer's market and buy that meat without feeling shamed. because they claim, oh, the issue is that you can't cook. We can cook. Are you guys cannot be this out of touch with how people are living. So Matt responds to Joel and he says, one of the problems with this claim is that virtually no Republican was making, quote, the affordability crisis is fake arguments during the Biden years. It's extremely transparent to everyone that the to acknowledge these obvious economic challenges, at least partially politically motivated. Yes, they want war, blood, blood, blood. He's right. He continues, the second problem is that no matter how thrifty your family might be, and no matter how cheap your homemade burritos, the significant rise in grocery prices over the past 6 years and the fact that the rise is continuing, not stopping, and certainly not reversing is just a mathematical reality. It can't be denied. It is a fact. Grocery prices have gone up 30% or more this decade. I'm happy for you if your family is not significantly impacted by this problem, but it is real and it is a problem. And conservatives better come up with an answer that isn't just, quote, learn how to make cheap burritos or we are going to get absolutely crushed. That's not the reality. Yeah, I don't know how people outside of, again, just their general Zionist bloodthirst and needing to make it seem like it's not because they're constantly taking money and they're not parasites on our economy, how you could argue that. Like, go speak to people. Obviously, groceries have gotten incredibly expensive and they are continuing to get expensive. So whatever Trump promised has not been delivered. That's speaking plainly. What's really funny about this is that Matt obviously alludes to the fact that it just shows that you're a complete fraud because you weren't making these arguments, or you were at least acknowledging the affordability crisis when Biden and Kamala were in office. Sure enough, Joel himself, Joel Berry, complained about the grocery store prices when Kamala Harris was in office in 2024. You should never, ever lose sight of how fraudulent Zionists are. They just want war, okay? Here is what he actually tweeted in 2024. Kamala Harris tweets, the campaign is about two different visions for our nation. Ours is focused on the future. Donald Trump is focused on the past. We are not going back. Joe Barry replied and said, I'd like to go back to when there were no wars and I could afford groceries, please. Yeah, you're just like a partisan hack, Joel. You're a partisan hack. Now all of a sudden it's problematic when Matt Walsh says the same thing and keeps the same energy no matter who's in office, which is authentic. You're just going to go, nope, sorry. We really just want that Hormuz Strait and we got to kill some Iranians. And so you need to learn to cook a burrito or something. And then I don't even know. He's just like a blast from the past. Dan Crenshaw, who is gratefully out of office in Texas. No one has let down the public faster than Dan Crenshaw. He then leans in with this. Like, I can't even, the neocons that have taken over the Republican Party, it's just shocking for them to just try this on. He wrote this, just hearing about this dumb $20 burrito debate. So just thought I'd make the losers on social media angry before going to bed. Stop whining, get a job, eat ramen like the rest of us did in college on a budget with 4 roommates. The market doesn't care what you think. Something should cost. Only communists care. They set the prices, remember? Then everyone starves, remember? Are you a communist? Or are you an American adult male capable of handling his own SHIT? Ooh.
Oh, wow. Crenshaw is so cringe. Oh, man. These guys, these conservatards have lost the plot. And I've always been conservative. Now I look like an idiot because I went along with this stuff. I'm going to keep going for a little bit. Get your last minute donos in if you want to kick any Fed sloppers out of the chat. Last minute, buy me an MRE. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You can also like the channel and subscribe.
Ooh, he's here. Actually, I was one of those people that was in college who was flat broke and eating ramen. Even that has gotten more expensive. Everything is more expensive. The idea that people are eating out because somehow it's a luxury. No, actually, when I was working 2 jobs, didn't have time to make meals out, I would then go down to McDonald's and hit up the dollar menu. You can't do that anymore. You can't get something for $1. The tax would be 6 cents. Like, it's so in my head. $1.06. I used to get a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. So it wasn't really like a luxury item. It was just something quick to eat. They can't even do that anymore with fast food. And you're treating them like they're spoiled rotten because you need to have war. That's the reality. And of course, never one to be left behind. We know Beavis and Butthead, Blake Neff came back with a chart because that's how they're going to convince you guys. We have this chart that shows you that your groceries aren't expensive. I don't care if you're saying that you're living a reality or what your eyes and your ears and what your debit card is telling you. Blake Neff has a chart. He wrote this: Americans literally spend less of their income on food than any other country on the planet. Of course, this was he shared a World Economic Forum chart, just gone full globalist there, because the globalists are basically trying to tell us to eat bugs and die. And so naturally, he shared this totally irrelevant chart, and he got hit with a community note saying that the linked article uses pre-2016 data showing the U.S. the lowest food expenditure shares. Actually, you reinforced Matt's point about how much things have shifted over the last decade. Again, I just don't know how they think this is going to be a winning message going into midterms. I have a feeling that Matt Walsh is going to be proven correct. What are they focused on? Oh, more Iranian propaganda, I suppose. And so it is deeply ironic that this is all happening on the same day, or this has actually been trending on Twitter for 2 days, but on the same today, Daily Wire released a trailer. I am being so serious when I say I do not know if this is supposed to be funny, like if it's supposed to be like tongue in cheek, or if this is serious, like a serious movie and propaganda. I don't know if we're supposed to laugh here or if it's real. And so let me preface this with they're probably going to hit me for showing their trailer, even though they've shown my trailer. When I did the Erica series, they showed the trailer and Ben commented on it, but they're going to be petty. They'll probably sue me for showing the trailer in the real spirit of Daily Wire. But this is the tweet that accompanied it. Ben tweeted, "The threat of radical Islam is real. Hollywood has refused to tell that story for 3 decades. What? Sorry, were you dead for the last 3 decades? What are you talking about? The number one show on HBO was Homeland. Like, I don't even know. Like, what do we even do? Like, what does it mean?
Dude,
They
these people are
refuse to
stupid.
tell this story. I feel like all we've gotten hit with since 9/11 has been propaganda against Muslims. Okay. They refuse to tell the story for 3 decades. Okay, he continues. Now we're saying the thing with the biggest, most audacious, funniest, and most kick-ass film the Daily Wire has ever released. Here is the trailer. Again, I can't tell if this is meant to be a parody or real life. Take a listen.
Ваша країна не варта нічого.
Ми, що любимо і служимо Аллаху, дали відсіч американцям і сіоністам від лиха світськості та земель невір'я.
Хтось збирається слухати капітана Сондерса завтра. Боєць
Oh, I'm sorry. They have to switch that and pull that again. Can you pull that? Can you play it straight from his X feed? Let's just do that. Sorry. I just realized that was for some reason downloaded and it sounded like Spanish or something like that. But we have to see this trailer. So let me know when that's pulled up. Because I was very confused by it. Here we go.
Fought back against the Americans and the Zionists from the scourge of secularism and the lands of unbelief.
Anyone gonna listen to Captain Saunders tomorrow? The retired Delta Force soldier with a new book out.
He's the polar opposite of those brain-dead protesters.
Given the current climate, should Clay Saunders even be allowed on campus?
Mr. Saunders is a close personal friend of Chancellor Friedman. This is a decision I cannot flatten.
There are 3 ways Islam will conquer the West. Through immigration, through the wombs of our women, and by using our nation's freedoms against us. Are you paying attention?
Listen carefully. The great Satan, America, will fall. You are infidels. The bodies of women are not pure and the men's souls are unclean.
What makes them so dangerous? Their goals are not in this life, but the next. Anyone? I got friends here. I can't just leave. Listen to me. In the law, we cannot run or hide from what is coming. We have to fight. I will be rewarded 10,000 times in the next life. When you die, you're nothing. Only one way to find out. That's
I just realized that even Candace will probably get in trouble for the trailer. They'll probably find a way, because I know they watch my channel too. They'll find a way to get me in trouble for this playing too. And it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. If Tonley, what is your name? Tani, I saw you on Kick. I will try. I don't know how to mod you on Kick, so I don't even know if you're still here. But whoever's mod's here, if you subscribe to my Kick, I will try to make you a mod. I'll do the best I can. I'm trying to figure that out, but we'll get it together, guys. It's not a big deal. We got. I mean, kind of a countdown here to Charlie's memorial. This next month, right? 35 days. So we'll be rolling. I'm gonna try to be rolling all the way till 2032 at least. When we get some resolutions within this country, that's when I will quit streaming. I won't need to stream anymore. And but for now, I'm a concerned citizen and I need to stream. So thank you guys. Thanks for those of you who went over to X or to Kick and X, by the way. And you guys have a great evening.